to episode 486 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for April 6th, 2025. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel Nicholson, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's going on this week, Dominic?
Man, it's a lot, man, because, the Switch 2 has been announced, and this has been crazy with news. Also, we also have, the whole tariffs thing going on around the world. It's been a crazy week. March Madness is coming close to an end. Baseball is really, it's still in the beginning phases of baseball, but going through. And yeah, I forgot to mention last week, spring football started too, and I believe, I want to say DC won yesterday. I know they won their first game. They might be 2-0, so yay! And they beat the first game was against the defending champs, the DC Defenders for UFL. So there you go. And they're still doing their tradition of the Snake Cup, beer cups, and that seems to be
nice,
a big thing. And so yeah, man, it's been a hell of a week. It's been a hell of a week. Like I said, with March Madness, as this podcast, since the games happened yesterday, the Final Four. So by the time you hear this, you're gonna know who's the champion is. It's between Houston and Florida. Duke lost. They were up by 7 with 1 minute left and lost. I had turned the channel because I thought the game was over, and apparently I woke up this morning and saw that they lost, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I said, I missed it. It was good on Houston. I thought Houston was going to win because I thought Houston seemed like they had the more veteran team. So Duke may have of course, but supposedly quote unquote better players, but in college, some experience also plays a big part. And Duke's best player is a freshman. Mm-hmm. Not to say, we've seen it before. Kentucky has won, and they had quite a few freshmen. But the experience of Houston and and them being in the league and them being a good team. These were all 1 seeds in the Final Four, which hasn't happened. I forgot how long it's been. It's happened in 2000s, but it's been a while, and it doesn't happen as often now. With upsets and with the parity of the league. So this was a little surprising that it actually went chalk at the very end. But these are 2 good teams, man. I was kind of rooting for Auburn to win because Auburn seems like they always get there. And I was rooting for Charles Barkley, who was a former Auburn alumni, and to see his team win a championship. But unfortunately, they can't get past Florida. Florida's a good team, man. Even though Auburn was ranked higher, even during the season, but it seems like Florida got their number. And both games were good. Both games, they really came down to the end. So, it's been a good Final Four so far. We'll see how the championship is. But, yeah, man, it's, I'm really enjoying it. Baseball, Orioles are, they were 4-5. Or I forget what it was. I don't know. They're 3-5, 4. I don't know. I know they had lost 3 games in a row. So they did win as of yesterday.
They lose all the games to the Red Sox.
No, they won 1.
Oh, okay.
It was 3 games. 3 games against the Red Sox. They won 1 of them. Red Sox, won 2 of them. They lost 2. Yeah. So they lost 5. And I guess they won 4. So they're 4-5?
Yeah, they're 4-5.
Okay. So yeah, they're 4-5 right now. They stopped their losing streak. They beat the Royals. They're playing the Kansas City Royals right now. So now they got the rubber match coming up. I think this is a 3-game series. I'm not sure if it's a 3-game or 4-game.
This one's 3-game.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so hopefully they'll win by the time you hear this podcast. But I'm still enjoying the games. It's early, man. This is nothing. You could be 0 and whatever and still come through, man. Because just like Atlanta. Atlanta was I think 0-7. The Atlanta haven't won a game until recently. they had bad luck. I mean, well, they had some bad luck too because like they had some injuries. Well, the top players still haven't come back from last year's injuries. The starting pitcher Strider, who's one of the best in the league. Hopefully, he comes back and still be that. Well, for Atlanta fans anyway. And Acuna, who I really like, the player has to come back. Hadn't come back yet, and then a player that they just picked up from the Padres. Actually, I don't. Well, I think he was a free agent, but I'm not sure. I forgot how they got him. Profar, he's suspended for 80 games because of taking some illegal substance. So, yeah, hasn't been a good year. I think they might have had another injury somewhere else too happen along the way, but it hasn't started out great for them. But still, even like baseball, you might get some wins, but like it's still surprising that team still start off that bad. But it's early. Like I said, it's early. That doesn't mean like, oh God, this season's just over with. It's like, man, it's 100-something games. This ain't football. Like, understand football, it's like you're pretty much done. Like, you can even win all the rest of your games and still maybe not get in. Because it's 17 games now. So you could be 10-7 and still not make the playoffs, possibly. All depends how everybody else is. I know the Dodgers have been kicking ass. They only lost one game. They finally lost a game because they were undefeated. Padres were undefeated too. They lost 2 games though recently to the Cubs. Yankees, they lost I think 2 games or 4. I forget what they had. 3. But anyway, I know they've been scoring some runs, man. I know Judge, man. Like one game he had like 3 home runs, which I don't even get how he even get to that point because I feel like after 2 home runs, I'm walking him. Like I'm not giving him another home run. I was like, you're not doing that. And back in the old days, they would just start throwing inside on your ass, like or hit you, like it's like they wouldn't like even bother. It's like, nah, you're not getting those many home runs. But yeah, I mean it's been a good season. Like there's the dominant team, like the dominant team really looks like the Dodgers, what everybody thought right now. Like they just they're loaded, man. I mean, they're loaded with pitchers. Like I look at their pitchers, like they got like they can have like it's usually a 5-man rotation. Like I used to see some teams like, man, it could be a 6-man rotation with this team or something. Man, this team could probably be like a close to 8 or something. Like if they wanted to. I mean, they still got Kershaw. Kershaw is like my age. He's old, so he's not gonna be able to be in a 5-man rotation. But him still just being there, so that means that's good. It's like they got all these pitchers and they still could put him in there. It's like, yo, this is ridiculous. And then the bats. I mean, I didn't even talk about the bats. So it's like, man, it's like who's playing for second place? I mean, it's a guarantee they're gonna win though. I'm like, because we've seen it. Yeah, we've seen teams like even the Yankees. We see like they got a lot of great players. They still don't win, but they get to the playoffs. It's like, and that's the thing. It's the chance to win. That's what it really, really is. Because there's always it's because it's about getting through that long ass season. So when you have so many great players, if something goes wrong, like a player gets injured, you got backup. It's like, fine. I mean, he's not happy he's got injured, but we still have a chance. And that's the whole thing is to have a chance. And like people, like I keep seeing fans of like Dodgers who say that like, it's like, so what? We got everybody. Doesn't mean we've been spending a lot all these years and haven't won. But y'all been to the playoffs. I haven't seen y'all miss the playoffs in how many years? So just like the Yankees used to be.
Yeah.
Like it's about having the chance to win. It's not about just winning. It's like that's the thing. It's like it's not fun for me, like to know, like, man, I don't like they could just spend all this money because they have they lucked out on a TV deal or something like that. And I was like, yeah, and I know how like that's kind of funny how fans say like, oh, you can't blame us. To say us, it ain't no us. You're just a fan. It's like you mean your team, the team you root for, that like they lucked up on a TV deal. I say, yes, I can. I can get mad at that if I want to. Because they make this league. They could have made it so it could be fair. So people, like, what's the point? If you have one team that can just spend all this money, because they can get all this money because of this so-called TV deal, like, they got all this money they can spend. And then y'all make it so that overseas, You don't have drafts? It's like, no, they're free agents. What the fuck does that mean? It's like, NBA don't do that. Those people overseas gotta go in the draft. That's not,
right.
How's that fair for anybody born in the U.S.? It's like, why do I have to join a draft? Why can't I just be a free agent then when I become of age?
Yeah.
Like, so I get the most out. It's like, nah, man.
Yeah, it seems crazy.
And like, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter how old you are. It's like, if you're a rookie, you're a rookie. So you gotta join the draft. It should, or just do it, or if you want to do a separate draft, because they do multiple drafts in baseball within a year. Mm-hmm. So do an overseas draft. I don't think that's fair, because it's like, dude, I don't blame the Japanese guys like who they got going to LA. First of all, they got the most money. Second of all, it's closer to your home. Like, the only place closer is San Francisco, but they don't got the money like LA. Well, technically Athletics maybe, but they're gonna be in Vegas soon. They're just in Sacramento temporarily. Yeah, that's another thing. They are playing Sacramento. They're not even called. They're just called Athletics because they don't really have a true home yet. It's kind of sad they had a tribute for Ricky Henderson, which is nice. It was nice. It's just sad that it wasn't at a real stadium, you know. Yeah. And it was called Ricky Henderson Field at, Oakland. It's like, darn, Ricky, you should have died a year before. It's like, God, this horrible fucking organization couldn't keep like one thing in Oakland. It's like, darn, Oakland, yeah. Now Oakland's just like nothing. They have nothing. Like, Darren, you can't really. At least the Padres got. At least San Diego got to keep the Padres. It's like, Darren, Oakland you can't even let them keep the Athletics. All that history they have there. God, darn. Yeah, man. See, money. Because if everybody was still the same, it would still be Raiders. Raiders would still be up there. And I mean, I can't blame the city for not putting too much money into getting a new stadium. Like, I'm always kind of against that, So yeah. I'm always saying, like, the owners, it's like the owners can put the money towards this, because you know how much money they make in a year? And now with gambling too, yeah, how much money these people get? It's like, yo, it's ridiculous, man. It's like, you get your money back. So why do we have to pay? Because it's funny how the city pays for this stuff, but we don't have no rights to the team. Y'all can move.
Yep.
We can't make. I mean, you might have some contractual.
I was going to say there's definitely like a length of time there and whatnot, but
yeah, but still, it's yours. Really, it's not ours. Even though we did this.
Meanwhile, you try and argue like, oh, it's about bringing people here, and it's like, yeah, but what happens when you leave?
Yeah,
that investment was poor.
All to say. And then it's like, oh yeah, well, we giving jobs and stuff. I said, come on, man, let's stop with that job shit. I mean, that is nice. That is, yes, but still, I don't think that's a good trade-off. It's not a good trade-off to me. So, whatever. Look, yes, there are pluses to having a team in your city. It is. I mean, I like it. I like having the Ravens and the Orioles here. I mean, I'm not a Ravens fan, and I like having like Washington's like down the street. But I'm in a new part, so I'm closer to actually DC now, so I'm actually closer to Washington. But it's I'm like, man, I don't like that at all. But anyway, what things happen in sport? Oh, Ovi, he is, as of right now, he is tied with Gretzky. So Wayne Gretzky. So now, hopefully by the time you hear this podcast, you already have passed him.
Nice.
And I know they play the Islanders next. They're at New York. And then they're at are they away after that? I forgot. I know they have a home game coming up soon. They only have about like 6 games left, I know, but I think a lot of them are away. I know the last 2 are definitely away. But he should be getting that goal. But I know this. He said he's not going to do an open net goal. He said the winning goal is not, the goal to pass Wayne Gretzky. He's not going to shoot like an open netter. Like, if some reason is that. He said he wants to at least be a goalie in there. So that's cool. but yeah, man, Ovi, man, I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy, like, because I mean, all I do is watch the Cavs because they're local. So seeing a guy like this be able to break one of the greatest hockey players ever, especially for everybody to know, because a lot of people who don't know hockey know who Wayne Gretzky was, like me. Like, he's the first hockey player I ever known.
Yeah.
I didn't know any other hockey player.
Same.
Yeah. And for years. Like, I didn't know any other hockey player.
Still the only hockey player I can name.
Ovary
who?
But Ovi is the now Ovi's probably the second most in my life that I know. And lately he's been the most because I'm local, so I hear it all the time. So yeah, this is that. It's cool that that's happening. Let's do it.
Also know about Mario Lemieux. I don't know anything other than his name though.
I know Crosby because Crosby is he's Pittsburgh, so he's like a rival. And then they beat us in the damn Olympics.
He was on the cover one of the times too, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, but when that Canada's gonna be a state, then it's not really he beat us.
Nope.
We just played against ourselves.
Exactly. It was a civil war.
But anyway, yep. So the communists are gonna have the record for the most goals. Yeah, hail Russia. Like, I don't know how you say Russia. I don't know how you do it Russia. Like, they celebrate it. But anyway, I think what else in sports happened? I don't really care about the NBA. I'm not talking about much mine is baseball. Yeah, I guess that's it. That's it. I guess if NFL people are just waiting for the draft and everything. Mm-hmm. So what's going on in wrestling?
AEW's Dynasty pay-per-view is going to be tonight as of recording this. Probably not going to be able to watch that, but I am kind of excited to see the results of it.
Is it brought to you by Dynasty Warriors?
And no, unfortunately. It's funny that you say that because SmackDown this week had a big Kazan ad in the middle of the ring. That the first Berserker Kazan or whatever it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It just said that in the middle of the ring on SmackDown. And they did like a Yakuza tie-in at one point in AEW. They've done a couple of things. But yeah, Swerve is going to be facing Jon Moxley for the title. I really hope Swerve comes out of this as champion, especially because Dynamite is in Baltimore this week. So I'm going to be going to that. I'm excited about that. Because it's a pay-per-view
week. Your daughter to it?
No.
Be your daughter's first wrestling match?
No, they had NXT. One of the last pay-per-views they had for NXT down in DC at the WNBA arena that I've talked about, where they've run shows for AEW before, which is a nice venue. And I thought about taking her to that because NXT is a little smaller. It's a little more approachable. It's not like AEW is just too much. Like it's not a kid's product. There's too much cursing, too much blood.
Hey, stop my sister from going to her first wrestling match as a date in elementary school.
Yeah. So, but then I was looking at the prices on that stuff. It was too much. So did not do that yet. One of these days, because
actually, how much cursing was in wrestling in the 80s?
In the 80s, probably not too much.
So maybe it wasn't that bad then.
WWE actually. What's that?
She definitely was pre, Attitude Era.
Yeah. That's definitely when it got a lot. And they're starting to WWE. It kind of felt like the safe show to watch. With her, and since the move to like Netflix, they've definitely been saying some words a lot more frequently. Typically it's just like shit, but even then it's like, all right guys, we get it. Yeah, so the Dynasty, that should be a pretty good show. WWE, I think we're like 2 weeks away from WrestleMania at this point. One of the
Danielle was watching Beverly Hill Cop at like 5 years old.
Yeah, no, and she's definitely at the age where at least my problem with that before was like I don't mind her knowing the words, and to an extent I don't necessarily mind her saying the words, but she needs to be able to
saying them at you.
Well, she needs to know when it's appropriate and when it's not appropriate, and younger than now,
like when somebody cut you off.
Exactly in traffic.
She should say that.
It's funny that you say that because that's one of the times that she's dropped. She was with my mother-in-law one day, and I picked her up and I was taking her home, and she goes, "All this fucking traffic," and I look back and I'm like, "Excuse me." She's like, "All this fucking traffic." I was like, "Yeah, we don't say that." The next day I was telling my in-laws about it, and they're like, "Where'd she get that from?" And I'm sitting there thinking like, I know exactly where she got it from. She even said it in your cadence. Anyway, but yeah, it was always about like, I don't want it at a younger age, it would have just been another word in her vocabulary, right? So she doesn't know when it's appropriate, when it's not appropriate, but she's starting to get to an age now where you can explain like, if this is a word that you're going to say occasionally, this is the way you would say it, and this is where it's inappropriate to say it.
At a ball game.
At the ball game.
When you lose your, or when a player
when you're a Phillies fan,
and
when your parlay doesn't hit.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So that's kind of what's going on there. But with WWE, with WrestleMania just weeks away, everything's kind of solidifying. We've talked previously about like the main event matches. They just announced Jade Cargill versus Naomi, which is the first singles women's match since 2006 that wasn't for a title. So like, good for them. That's awesome. Kevin Owens actually announced that he's not going to be able to wrestle at WrestleMania. It seemed like they were setting up for him versus Randy Orton. But he announced on SmackDown that he is going to have surgery on his neck because he's got some bad stuff happening there. So that's unfortunate. So we'll see who Randy Orton ends up facing, if he does end up facing somebody. I've seen speculation that he could face the SmackDown general manager Nick Aldis, who was formerly a pretty prominent wrestler in like TNA, and he got RKO'd after the announcement from Kevin Owens on Friday. So we'll see if that goes anywhere. But yeah, it's kind of big wrestling season with the AEW pay-per-view now. Then they have like their big show in, I think, July. The All-In pay-per-view that's going to be in Texas. So everything's kind of building to that right now.
Hey, the Big Show passed away, right?
No. Big Show's still around. He
Oh, okay.
He's with
doing
AEW.
anything in wrestling?
He's
AEW.
I think he's mostly a backstage guy now in AEW. It seemed like for a while there he might be trying to get back into the ring, and he was doing announcing for one of their like internet shows. But it's since they got rid of that stuff, like AEW Dark, I don't think he's really played like much of an on-screen role. But yeah, he's not dead. Yeah,
it must have been a joke then, because they showed Uncle Phil. Somebody showed that picture of him and Uncle Phil together. They said, "Oh, rest in peace, both of them."
Oh my!
I guess they were joking.
Jesus, that's why you can't trust the internet, Dominic.
All right, so I guess we get to what we're watching. So you watched Daredevil finally. So like, where are you at on Daredevil?
I'm only into the second episode. I finished off the first episode and watched a bit of the second episode this morning. The only thing I'll say about this, like it seems good so far. I'm liking where stuff is going. But if I was a person coming into this, like having not seen the Netflix series or Echo, I'd be very confused as to why like Wilson Fisk would be a bad guy as a mayor or just like a bad guy in general. They don't really give you a lot of context for like his previous evil doings. And he comes off as a pretty sympathetic character so far. So I'm interested to see where that goes. I can see that.
Yeah, I can see that, but I don't care about those people. So that's their problem.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not even like a someone coming into this, not prepared or something like that. It feels like from Disney's standpoint they would want to make this as approachable as possible. And it's not necessarily that it's inapproachable, it just you don't have the context necessarily for what's going on.
Yeah, I could definitely see somebody come and just say like I'm going to start here.
Yeah.
I would just say don't. And if you don't feel like watching all of it, I was like, well, it's not. It's okay.
Watch a YouTube compilation. They took out all the bits where like Karen and Foggy are talking or something, and there's just fighting.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. The only thing I don't like it, but it's not a problem. I kind of wish the Karen was at least still there or something. Some people from the original series, like besides Wilson Fisk, but
yeah, because it definitely seems like she's kind of already wandered off and might not be coming back. She definitely doesn't seem like she's going to be playing a big part in it.
So I was like, darn, man, that sucks that nothing comes of that. But overall, because I'm further than you. I mean, I'm caught up because the latest one. How many episodes is it supposed to be?
I think it's like a lot. Let's see, Daredevil Born Again.
But so far what I watched, I really like. I really enjoyed the show. If you expected to see him in a Daredevil cost 18, okay, that's almost like a regular season of stuff.
But this is only showing 9, so maybe I don't know. Maybe they're saying like 9 and 9 total between the 2 seasons.
If that's the case, I mean, I don't know. Well, as for the episodes that are out now, if you're expecting to see like a lot of Daredevil, it's not really. He's kind of out of the costume a lot because he's taking a break. Well, not break. Well, he's supposedly given up. This is his. I'm not going to be Spider-Man anymore.
Right. That's what they set up
basically,
in the first episode.
He threw it in the trash cans. In the trash can, hanging on the side. Don't like in the comic. But even though now, like, he got all these different costumes. One time when I saw him go to his locker, and I was like, oh, that must have been happening in She-Hulk or something, because I don't remember him having all these things. Or it's like, it basically is like in between time stuff has happened. Yeah. But anyway, I enjoy the show so far. Like, I think it's pretty good. And I also like what's his name, Daniel Feeney Daniel Feeney, with the guy who was in Sopranos, his son,
James Gandolfini's son.
Son. He's in there.
Yeah, that's who that guy is. He looked kind of familiar.
And I like it. And I'm thinking he's going to turn a little bad. I mean, based on last episode, I've seen the way he was doing it. Technically, I don't blame him for being like this. I mean, I don't want to go to spoilers, like, because I felt like somebody kind of screwed him over. And I was like, you know what? I'm not too mad at him. For being like that. But, yeah, I do. Because I'm curious to see where he goes. Because it's like he's with Wilson Fisk. I want to know, like, what does he become to him? Like, what happens with that? I'm kind of curious what his story goes. I do. I don't want to go to that because I don't want to go too much. I'll wait till you get those episodes.
All
right. So you did watch. What's the show called? Damn.
Common Side Effects.
Yes, Common Side Effects.
Yep,
So
I finished that.
So you
finished that out.
So you watched. You watched them all. You saw all of them. So how'd you like it?
I thought it was good. I was initially kind of apprehensive about the show at the beginning. Like, I thought it was kind of neat But I think by the end of it, I was fully on board with it. I don't know that it needs another season. I get like by the end, it definitely.
Well, the way they ended it.
Yeah, it definitely seems like, if they had ended it when I don't know if it's really spoilery, but when the two main characters are together and they're just like, we'll deal with that tomorrow. If they had ended that there,
I would have been okay with that.
Yeah.
But they had to add some other shit in there. They had to add, like, his brother getting the turtle. Oh, yeah, these are all spoilers. Are you still there?
Yeah.
All right. His brother getting the turtle. Then you had to add. Well, no, not counting the that CEO guy, like freaking brain dead, and just seeing. Well, he in his mind, he's just like keep like dying and reforming.
He took so many of those mushrooms.
Yeah. I was like, oh, you idiot! It's like.
I mean, I guess if you don't know, that it only takes one tiny one to do that, but man.
But like him, I just think he's done. But also
I could see him becoming like a giant kaiju and just like this going full anime.
His not hit. Oh, the former. Oh, the other guy, the Hank Hill guy, he might become like the antagonist because of making those chips not that's it chips. Well, that flavor,
the flavors, right? I wonder, like he feels like he's like not a threat anymore because he's like I'm making my money. I don't necessarily need to cure people's whatever. I just I wanted to make my money, and this flavor spray is going to make my money for me. I'm interested what happens with the.
It is a threat because the side effects to that stuff.
Oh right, yeah. That's true.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. He is. He doesn't know that though.
Yeah.
But thing is, he still wants to make money from that stuff. So I'm thinking that if they do another season, they're gonna have something with that done with that. And I'm. Oh yeah, and she's still alive. The woman, because she poured some stuff into, but like I don't know if that's for her own personal use or she put it into the water. It looked like it was
like the city's like water tank or something like that. That's what I'm most interested by. Is she like, I'm giving it to the people to like make everybody healthy, but like that's not what she was doing before. She was trying to make as much money as possible. So like
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. That's why we think is this going to be another season because I don't know what is her game.
Yeah,
what does she want? I never fully understood that, and I guess that's why I feel like they are going to do another season.
Yeah,
I just hope it doesn't take forever.
Same. Yeah. It's like I joked with you yesterday. It feels like it'll be like, 2027. But at the same time, like, it'll almost feel like it hasn't been any time if that ends up being the case. It would be far out if they said like 2028 or something like that. Because now, sorry, I was just going to say, like, now I'm starting to see the ads for The Last of Us Season 2. And I'm like, oh, man, when does that come out? And it's like next week. And I was like, oh, man, I remember season 1 finishing and being like, oh, man, that season 2 is so far away. Or like we were talking last week about Grand Theft Auto. Away,
Daniel. You had the game right there.
That's the
only problem I have with Last of Us because you don't got right to. There.
No, I don't think I ever got to.
It's not part of the Plus or anything?
It might. You know what? It might be part of the. I think they might have actually just added it to the PlayStation Plus catalog now.
And it's probably not the remaster version.
I think it is. I think the remaster version is.
Well, that's weird. But I mean, for them.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
But. Yeah, that's the only thing with like the Last of Us. I mean, because with me, because it's like the games. Well, yeah, if I was a person who didn't play the games, like yeah, I can say like, oh man, I can't wait. But since I already know the story and seeing it, it's like, oh whatever. Like it's really like season 3 because I don't know what's gonna if they are going to do a season 3, and if there is, that I don't know what the hell's going to happen.
Yeah.
um, but I mean, they did change some stuff in season 1. Like I said, it's so funny. The only episode I've seen was what some people are calling the best episode. So I was like, oh, lucky me. The episode with the guy, the gay guys. And I was like, yeah, luckily I saw that because that was something that didn't really happen in the game.
Right.
So I was like, oh, this is new. And turned out that I was like one of the best episodes. And I was like, oh, good. So I said I did see something. That was really good. All right. Yeah, but Common Side Effects, yeah. Great show.
Definitely.
Surprising show. To come for like Adult Swim. I'm glad you told me about it.
Especially just because
I probably never saw it.
The budget seems like high. You know, the animation looked really good. And
Yeah.
that's usually not one of the priorities for like one of those shows.
Yeah, and it looked like it could be something like really weird. I mean, it is somewhat weird, like with those little naked white guys or something.
Yeah,
or like not white guys as in race, like they're literally like
Yeah.
white.
Yeah, those things are weird.
And
Little hallucination
but-
guys.
yeah, but I just the whole story and premise, yeah, it's like, oh, this is actually pretty good. Yeah, it's like this is a well done show. All right, so now we get to what we were playing, guys. So video games. So I'll start it off.
Okay.
So Borderlands 3 is on Game Pass. This is the Ultimate Edition. This was everything, which I'm very shocked that they actually put all the DLC there, and which I'm happy because I have Borderlands 3 technically, and I didn't ever got the DLC. So I was like, oh, good, I can play DLC. But I was like, well, I didn't play the game since it came out, and so I was like, I'll just play it again. So I was just playing some early on. I probably play with other people eventually, because early on you can't play with you can't really play with people. But I wanted to get my feet wet because I haven't played Borderlands so long, and I remember I've been saying I wanted to play it, but I was like, I don't feel like downloading it because it's so huge.
Yeah,
and I just have to erase shit off my hard drive to play it. And this is before the DLC shit. I forgot how many. I mean, it was big like a normal game, I think, the original one. But still, I had so much stuff on my hard drive at the time, I didn't feel like downloading it. That's why I kept saying, like, man, I wish it was like on the cloud or something. I can just play it. Or even NVIDIA, I would just, like, so I'll do a month or something on NVIDIA just so I can just play that game instantly.
Yeah.
But they don't, 2K wasn't up there. I mean, well, a lot of 2K games was on NVIDIA now. And I'm not sure if it is now since Borderlands 3 is on Game Pass. Because Game Pass, some games are able to play through NVIDIA now. Not all of them. I'll have to check that out. But now that I got a new computer and I don't have a whole bunch of games on these hard drives I got now, I had out space. But it's a lot. It's like 196 gigs with everything. That's huge.
Yeah.
Though some people in these reviews I saw were all like, oh, you can buy a hard drive from blah, blah, blah money and stop bitching and blah, blah, blah. Which I'm just like, why do you care? It's just people are so, why do you care enough to comment on things sometimes? I don't ever get that. Unless you're the developers. I guess I just assume these are like or people who got some money into this game and they selling it. Because I'm like, dude, it's huge. That's how nice gigs is big, man. Like, I don't care how big a fucking hard drive you got. And like, because even still, you gotta still download it. And that still takes a long time. And yeah, I mean, that thing is, yeah, it's still ginormous. I mean, I don't know what you do. I mean, could it be compressed? That's the thing. I don't know. I have no idea. Could it have been compressed to be, not as big as 196 gigs? Maybe it couldn't. But then again, I look at Borderlands 3. It looks, technically it is better than Borderlands 2 graphically, but it's not. It don't look that, like bigger upgrade. Like I was like, dude, I feel like maybe it could be compressed. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I'm curious, like how much DLC they had. Because I know that DLC for 2 was a lot. I mean, as far as length was a lot.
Mhm.
So actually, I might have to go look and see how much gigs that was compared to this. Anyway, but besides that, I just played what I played of the game before because I beat the original game of Borderlands 3. So I'm just at the very beginning playing that game. It's fun. Borderlands. Hey, it's getting ready for 4, which is coming out. What's the date of 4 coming out?
What is for Borderlands 4?
Is it going to launch on the Switch?
I don't know. No, because it does come out till September. That's what it was. September 23rd.
Okay. No, it's still going to launch the Switch then, Daniel. It's coming out first on the Switch.
Oh, okay.
2. So like I stop. I'm joking. Don't believe me.
Spoilers.
I can lie. Who cares? People lie all the time. The government lies to you all the time. The damn president just lies to you, right? And well, they always lie to you. But I mean, now it's like blatant lies. Like you just know it. They're lying when they say it. But anyway, but no, yeah. So they're getting ready for this game, Borderlands 4. Even though, like, I know 4 got where you can swim now, so which I'm like, yay, that's great. You have to die instantly, even though that wasn't really a big deal. But I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of water stuff in there.
Yeah.
Also, I played some Dragon Age, Veilguard. I am closer to the end, to the beginning. I'm still like doing some extra missions. I think I'm done with Tosh. I did get to that cringy one. That's like the almost. I don't know if it's the last thing you do with her, but it seems like that cringy scene with the whole push-up thing because you call her the wrong gender. That seems like that's the last thing you do, like her last side quest.
Oh wow!
It's not really it is not really a side quest. It's just a scene. Because, but thing is, here's the thing. I have a problem. It's that everybody has these scenes that are supposed to be like, oh, real fun and heartwarming scenes. And like they have it like where you're walking around and they talk about their life and what they've done, and then you see like then you're doing something in it's like one guy you going to the graves. Because he's his necromancer, but he's really sentimental with the people with graves and stuff. And it's like I don't mind that. Like for some people, like it's like okay, but every fucking character. That's why I feel like this has got to be like this is one of the sappiest games. This is really hitting the sappy mark, like with Spider-Man. I mean, I think it's surpassed that.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, this is not Dragon Age. This is not the Dragon Age I grew. I mean, I said I grew up with. That's not the Dragon Age I played. Like, I mean, for a fantasy, for a dark. Dragon Age was like a dark fantasy. Like they always show blood. You remember they always kept showing the blood, like the dragon, the dragon's damn blood. Like the drawing, and like they always do that. I used to have to turn the effects off because I hated it. Like, oh, the effect of blood when you fight enemies is all on your freaking character and stuff. It's like, oh god damn, man. It's like, but yeah, I'm like, what the fuck happened? Like, why'd you thought this was a good direction? Like, I don't know what happened, like, with this. I don't know, man. It's so weird that they did this. And like I said, the whole premise, like, the story is good. It's like, it's so good. It is like, man, this series is over. I think it might be over because it is not because it's bad. It didn't sell. I mean, if it sold, it would be over. But I don't know. I think since it didn't sell that well, then they freaking let some people go and stuff. Like, what the hell? Also, I did re-download RoboCop because now I have a PC that can actually run this game that looks like a damn PlayStation 2 game, but I don't know why it couldn't run before. But yeah, so I haven't got that far in it to really. I played the parts that I played before, so. But like it's funny just seeing like because I watched this movie as a kid a lot and just the whole dystopian like 80s future, you know, and it's just hilarious how these people act. And like, yeah, I forgot what year it's supposed to be. But it's just amazing. It's like that it's supposed to be like somewhat the future, but like in the police department looks older than what we have now. Than even like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
They're in the 90s. They're in the 90s. And then they got these old ass computers like there is up. And it's like, yeah, I guess it's like this is the future if like something happened with technology, we just got stagnant, I guess, with it. We couldn't afford it. Maybe that's what it is. We couldn't afford to do anything with that stuff. And you know what? Maybe Detroit, the way that I heard about Detroit, maybe Detroit does look like that. Maybe it does look like that, Daniel. Right now. But anyway, yeah, it's and to see the characters I've seen in the movies in this part, like they're not the same. All of them, I doubt they're not the same actors. I think the only actor I know of is the original one, the RoboCop guy. I think he talks for him.
Yeah, Peter.
But I don't know because the woman. I don't know who talks for the woman. I don't know if that's the original woman. She looks just like the actress, but everybody looks like what they looked like in the movie.
Right.
But yeah, it's like a guilty pleasure, really. Like it's not great. I don't hate it though. Like that's the thing. I don't go. It's like, oh man, this feels wonky or nothing. Like it seems competent. You know, I mean, it's not nothing special, but like it's really just nostalgic factor for me of the RoboCop show. Well, not show, the movie. I never did watch the cartoon. Like I have never seen the cartoon. There was a cartoon.
I forgot there was a cartoon.
I've never seen it. I actually kind of want to look it up just to see how it was. All right. So I also play some NCAA football. I'm on my third season. We won 2 championships. The second season I went undefeated in there. I'm doing better in varsity mode now. Probably should upgrade, but I don't think I am. I don't think I'm going to. I forgot what it's called after varsity. Is it all pro? I don't know. Yeah, it's because I feel like they really jump like the different difficulties. It's a huge jump. Like it's a huge jump from freshman to varsity. And I know, like, oh my God, it's gonna be a huge jump. My man will probably never get open and just never catch the ball. So I was like, nah, I'll just stay with this. Like I still suck at passing. Like I'm happy if I get like 50% passing for a game.
Yeah.
You know, I'll still getting a lot of yards, but I've also threw a lot of passes. Like like it's a lot of either my receiver either drops it or I just throw it badly. Like I'm really good at the running game though. The running game I'm seeing really good at, but that's only because I actually changed the sliders so that the defense sucks at tackling. So there's a lot of broken tackles that I go through. So most likely I will probably suck at running too. Yeah, but there's a lot of things that I want in the game that like they had in previous games, like the trophy cabinet they used to have in the game since the PS2 days. They had a trophy cabinet where you saw all the trophies you had won from all the years you played. Cool. I don't know when it stopped. I never got to the point where it's like, oh, you only could do this many seasons. I never got close to that. But they show that they don't have that here. What else? It's like little things that they just don't do. But yeah, hopefully like I said, that whole excuse of like, oh, it's the first game in so many years. It's like bullshit. Yeah, so what? But people are making games for years though. Yeah, games are a new concept. So they have a blueprint of what to do since the PS2 and probably before that, because that's only when I first played it. So so I don't know. So I'm like, don't give me that bullshit. So yeah, hopefully the next game they'll do a lot better. And all right, so what have you been playing?
So more Assassin's Creed Shadows. I'm kind of stuck, not in like think I'm mentally stuck. I'm having a little trouble finding like what my main mission is. And I might even be working on it right now. But I'm finding myself like right now, what I was doing when I was playing last night was I'm in this castle. Well, I'm in these castle grounds. Like I'm not necessarily inside the castle. And it just has me with a goal of like finding and killing these daimos, I think they're called, like basically like samurai generals.
Okay.
And I can't just assassinate them because they're like higher level than me. So I can like sneak attack them and do some damage, but then I eventually, have to actually fight them. And I'm not like struggling necessarily with the fighting. I don't know if I'm just like I could be doing better, or if my level's like a little too low to be approaching these guys. But I think it's part of, I was talking last week about like how it's really open and they give you like, here's the person you're trying to get to and you got to like get information to get closer to them, much like the old games did. But I don't know, maybe I'm at that, I'm at that tipping point where it's like, okay, maybe I have a little too much freedom because like right now I would just like you to tell me exactly where the person is that I need to go after and then just kill them so I can progress the story. But that's just, it's not necessarily a negative for the game. It's just for me, I find myself needing to like get through games as much as as quickly as possible. Like for me, a more streamlined experience is a positive now, whereas like years ago, it would have been a lot easier to just like invest a lot of time and be happy. We've talked about that dynamic in the past. Like when you're a kid and you only have like one or two games, it's like, okay, I want this game to last me forever. And it feels like that's definitely the audience that they are catering to, especially with these last few Assassin's Creed games where it's like, here is like everything. Whereas like me, I'm just like, okay, I want to see the story and I want to have some fun sneaking up behind people and taking them out. Yeah, I mean, the gameplay I'm still having fun with. I'm definitely finding it to be a little janky, but Assassin's Creed has always been that way where I'm finding like I'm trying to navigate on this ledge over to another ledge and instead I just jump out of the castle into the moat around it. And I'm like, I can't even climb up these walls. What happened to letting me climb on literally everything? Now I'm like not able to climb up on this wall that looks very much
because that's not realistic, Daniel.
Except for these walls look like they're made of stones that I could very much grip my hands onto outside of the fact that I'm in the water, so it'd be a little slippery.
Who are you playing as? Are you playing that samurai guy with all the
No,
armor
I'm not playing
on?
a samurai guy. I haven't gotten back to him yet. I got like 20 more hours before I get back to him.
Climb walls. Don't you know that?
Oh, is that what it is? Okay. I don't know. She's been pretty impressive so far, Dominic, so I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, so I'm having a good time with it, but I'm feeling a little like, I feel like I'm wasting more time than I am like actually progressing the story. And because I am just like, I'm kind of banging my head up against the wall because it does save pretty frequently. So like I kill one daimo and then, it saves after that. And then I like get killed 5 times trying to kill this other guy. And then I get him finally. And then I get killed another, 6-10 times or whatever. So it just feels a little trial and error-y, and that might just be the way I'm playing it, which, is probably...
Do you have it in Japanese, Daniel?
I do not have it in Japanese.
Ooh, that's horrible. Ooh.
I think we've specifically talked about this in the past. Subtitles, like, are one thing for a more passive medium, like a movie. But when I'm trying to like move about the world and also ingest what they're telling me by like reading the bottom of the screen, it feels like it takes me out of the gameplay. Like how am I supposed to focus on both these things at one time? Like I don't have the attention span for that. So yeah, there's definitely some some like, I don't know, pretty flat readings or kind of weird readings. But we've talked about the other aspect of this too, where it's like, okay, I don't know whether this is good Japanese voice acting or not. It just sounds like Japanese to me. So like, I could see why you might think, oh wow, this is a better experience, but like, are you just telling yourself that, or are these Japanese performers just much better at voice acting these characters and these lines than, you know, the American equivalents? You know?
Yeah, I have no idea.
So I'm not too worried.
Yeah, and what's the dialogue like for the black guy? He was saying, yo, 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 what's up?
No. No. I think he originates from like the guys from Portugal.
I was about to say, so he speaks some Portuguese.
I think the intention is that he speaks
Spanish.
Portuguese, because it's kind of at the beginning of the game when you play as him, you're introduced to I think it's Nobunaga, the like main guy, the main Japanese guy who's like taken over.
That's like the only Japanese guy I know.
All right, then that's the one. And you're with these like Christian missionaries or something like that, and he speaks
In the word of Jesus.
Yes, exactly. And your character, he speaks Japanese. You find out that he speaks Japanese, and the Portuguese guys find out that he speaks Japanese, and they're very surprised because they didn't think he understood.
I'm very surprised too, Daniel.
Yeah. So they don't really explain where. I don't think they explain where he picked it up, but I also don't know how long he's like been in the country.
He used to read manga, Daniel. That's why he picked it up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I don't totally know what language he would be talking in if I had that on like native languages either.
He had the Dragon Ball Z box set. He watched that a lot.
All right. Yes, I played that, and I also played Mullet Mad Jack because you were talking, you know, about how awesome it was, and I was interested in seeing what it was. It's definitely an interesting game with the whole like time aspect of it, where you basically got these procedurally generated levels. It's first person shooter that is just like super 80s coded. Tough guy, you know, like movie stereotype type things, and visually it looks really cool. The gameplay idea is neat, but it's not really working for me, Dominic. Like the time is like it feels like I'm rushing through, because I am, right? Like I am literally just like trying to race to the end of the level and will shoot in the direction of enemies or like kick in the direction of enemies as I go past them, but I don't like necessarily make sure they're dead because I don't have time to like turn around and make sure I killed them fully or whatever.
I mean, I think that's all right. I don't know. I mean, I guess they can shoot you from the back, but I don't think I ever died that way.
Yeah, I'm not totally sure, because I've definitely died to enemies, and I think that's kind of where like I'm falling away from it a little bit, is like I'm trying to focus on the time aspect of it and the getting through it, but then I get like hit by an enemy that I missed because I'm rushing so much. And there's probably a portion of it where like you probably can take it a little more methodically, because you do get points, you do get time back if you kill people.
Yeah, that's what I learned.
Yeah. So yeah, I was kind of struggling with that, and there is a mode where they take off the timer, but I think at that point it's just a completely different game, and I don't know that game's as interesting.
Yeah, I was curious about that too, because I was like, darn, it's. Yeah, because then you play like a regular first-person shooter, and it's probably not really meant to do that.
Yeah, it's not that engaging. Because it's very much like it definitely hits all your senses as you're going through it. Like I might give it a couple more tries, but Initially, I'm just
No, maybe it's not for you, Daniel.
It might not be.
You're not worthy. You're not worthy.
Not worthy. Yeah, I like a lot of what they're doing with it. Like it's pretty funny, and it looks really cool. But yeah, the gameplay is maybe just not there for me. So that's it for me, Dominic.
Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention I am still playing some more Apollo's Justice, the Ace Attorney game. I am going through the second trial of the first game on the DS. I forgot 3DS. What was that one called? I know one is called Spirit something, but I think that was the second one.
Yeah.
I forget, but yeah, I'm going through that, and yeah, because I remember not really. I mean, this one. I mean, I liked it, but it just like I wanted to be Phoenix Wright, and I was like, I wanted to bring back more old characters, not bring a bunch of new ones. Like you could bring new ones, but it's like, but you take away the old ones. Like I don't think Gumshoe is even in this one. I was like, you got this guy Albright and whatever guy now, and I was like, get the fuck out of here, man. I want my Gumshoe back. And like I want Edgeworth and stuff like that. I was like, oh, it's like why I keep doing this? Like I like Phoenix Wright, and I think there's a lot of people like that too. It's like, darn, I want Phoenix Wright again. It's like it's nice that you did Apollo Justice, but now you can play as this girl, and like I don't mind. Like and this one you kind of switch up. You switch between the three. But I don't mean I want to play Phoenix Wright all the time, but it's just that I wish he's the character. It's like I don't know. I was like and that's why I was kind of happy in the next one after this that whatchamacallit comes back. I forgot her name. Mia, I think it is.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
She comes back and she's older, and it's like, oh look, it's nice. She's older now and stuff. I like the growth, and then her little cousin. She's older too, and it's like she's still young. I mean, she's still like a kid. I think she's like maybe like early teens for her. Well, Mia, I think she's 18. But it's like, yeah, it's like cool seeing those guys grow up and things like that. I kind of wish they would have did it with this game, and but yeah, I mean, it's all right. It's the only bad thing is that a lot of stuff was really done well with the 3DS because of the touchscreen and stuff.
Yeah.
That you can't do, now. Because of, I don't know if you can do it on the Switch. You probably can't because I don't know how they would do it. But I mean, even though it is touchscreen, but thing is, it's it's not two screens.
Right.
I mean, they still could, but I never read a Switch review of it. But I'm gonna play on the PC, so.
And they don't emulate that stuff with like mouse movement at all or anything?
Nah. Nah, they don't. Yeah, they don't. I try to like do something and nope, nah. I mean, they just kind of emulate it with. I mean, they emulate it like they with controller for certain things, but it's just not the same. But I mean, it's still all right. I mean, it's still okay game. And I think the 3D effects. There were some 3D effects I remember that were pretty good that you just can't do. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's all I really played. So I guess we'll take a quick break when we get back. It's a flashback segment.
All right.
And we're back. So let's get to the flashback segment. So we're going to be doing 2 months of video game covers this week. Since we missed March. So we're going to do more. Going to go back 10 years to 2015, do March, then go to April. So we're starting with Nintendo Power in March. 10 years ago, and we got Star Fox Assault on the front.
Yeah.
And this is this the DS one? Well, what's this one?
No, Star Fox Assault was the GameCube one. It's okay.
Okay. All right. Then I got the wrong cover up here then.
Oh.
Because this is supposed to be 2015.
Oh. Yeah, this is probably... They say 2004 Nintendo Power Award nomination, so maybe not. Is this 2005 one? Yeah, this is March 2005.
Okay. All right.
So that just
so let me go to Edge magazine for 2015. And we got Fable Legends on the front. Can Lionhead recapture Albion's magic on Xbox One?
Spoilers, I could not.
This is the one, the one that was with the Kinect, right?
I think this is the one that was a multiplayer one.
I don't even know this one at all. Then
yeah, this is the cooperative one that got canceled.
Oh, so this never came out. Okay,
yeah,
never mind.
I think they did. They might have did like a beta for it at some point. And yeah,
this is when Fable died. This is when Fable died.
Effectively.
And,
yeah.
Yeah, and hopefully it'll be back.
Hopefully.
It'll be back with Ugly Woman, apparently, according to the internet.
I don't know. This drawing's kind of ugly. Like, the drawing's very good, but her face is weirdly angular.
I don't like her knee. I don't like that knee, Daniel. Something wrong with that knee.
Yeah.
But
it's seen some things.
And that sword is way too big for her. What we got here? So we got Razer's VR Revolt, the open source headset taking on the Oculus Rift. Wow, we in the earliest days of this.
I was gonna say this clearly went well for them.
Where Reborn, Banjo-Kazooie's creators return.
Wonder what game that would have been.
What game that would have been exactly? Because I don't remember Banjo game after Nuts and Bolts.
Is this Viva Pinata, or would that have been earlier than this?
There was a Viva Pinata for the Xbox One?
You know what? No, I don't think there was.
Oh. Only thing I know about Rare is that Conker's game for that, it wasn't a game, but they made Conker in that freaking creator game thing they had. Whatever it was called for Xbox.
Yeah.
That was like Dreams. What was it called before Dreams?
Project Spark?
Yeah, that's the only thing I know about them. I mean, not including the Xbox Bees.
Avatars, yeah. The Amiibos. That's what I was thinking, the Amiibos.
Hands-on with The Witcher 3, yes. And reviews for Elite Dangerous. Darn, Elite Dangerous. Oh, man, that game's been wow. Life is Strange, Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, Gat Out of Hell, and Dying Light. All right, so what else we got here? Darn, so Fable Legends. Yeah, that was a game that just didn't happen. You don't see that a lot. A lot of things didn't happen on Xbox.
Yeah.
Even the stuff that did happen didn't happen.
Some of those things we wish didn't happen.
The Xbox official magazine. They're still coming out 10 years ago. And we got the first hands-on Mortal Kombat X. Why NetherRealm's Xbox One debut is the fighting game you need in 2015. It was a good fighting game.
The gritty Mortal Kombat.
Also, you got Assassin's Creed Invades London. First details of Ubisoft's Victorian thriller inside. And
one that
Halo
I still
5.
hear people talk about positively, even though like at the time we were so over Assassin's Creed that nobody really talked about Syndicate.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it was before Syndicate. It was the first Revolution one.
Yeah.
That was Syndicate.
It was the one that ruined the series.
So what was the one after Syndicate then? That was the English one.
That would have been. That was post. Would that have been Origins?
No.
No.
Origins is in Egypt.
Yeah, but what Syndicate was London. Was there one in between those?
No, but I said, what's the French Revolution one then?
Oh, I can't remember the name of it, but I know what you're talking about. It's the one that basically tanked the series for a while.
Yeah.
Which is why nobody cared about Syndicate, I guess. God, why can't I think of the name of that game? Unity. That's what it is. Unity.
Unity. That's what it's Unity. Yes, guys. Let's think of Unity, the engine. Unity.
Yeah.
The Assassin's Creed. We have Base London. Yeah, the Victorian era. Blah blah blah. That's where you played as a brother and sister. I want to say.
Yeah.
And Halo 5 Guardians, while Xbox One was made for Master Chief.
Yeah.
You played as other guys too. The also 40 tricks to unlock the power of the Xbox One. Oh, there you go, Daniel.
Man,
This is what all people have to do.
I need to read this magazine so I can figure out where all the power is.
Oh, someone did a joke about I'm not going to remember when we get to the Switch, so I have to say it now. About how the Switch to you can do the sharing of games. And also you can have a camera that can see and hear you without, stuff like that. It was like, oh, this is what they all say on the Xbox One.
Yeah, no, literally, this thing is it's just exactly. I mean, I would even argue this is the Xbox 360 pretty much.
And it's like everybody, well, the sharing stuff, the game sharing stuff.
Yeah.
But
you're right.
But it's like everybody hated it. And also Nintendo's doing it where you have to, acknowledge oh yeah, you have it. And it was like, that's somebody said, and look, the girl was just doing a joke. She had a cartoon. It was like, it's a joke. But you know how people on the internet just take everything seriously?
Yeah.
I mean, no, some people know things are jokes, and then there's people who have to be like, well, that was just too ahead of time, and Xbox didn't explain it well. I said, yeah, it's a joke. That's what you gotta say. It's a joke. All right? It's like, I know that. And then some people come back and say, oh, thumbs up. But I'm like, no thumbs up. You apologize and say, oh, I'm an idiot for taking things too seriously on the fucking internet. It's like, what the fuck, man? It's just like, you tell a joke and people just gotta be dissected dude, God, I swear, man. Anyway, what else they got here? They got also inside the annual OXM Awards. So I guess it's some Game of the Year stuff. Making of Wolfenstein, Ori and the Blind Forest, man. Ali Oxenfree. Ali hits Xbox One. It's really that skateboarding game, right?
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid Online. What the hell was Metal Gear Solid Online? Was that part of Phantom Pain?
That might have been the thing after Phantom Pain. The survival.
Oh yeah. But darn,
that seems early for that though, right?
Yeah, I mean, not early announcement, but I don't know, unless they were announcing that around the same time before Phantom Pain came out, and then they came out after.
Yeah, because Metal Gear Survive came out in February of 2018. So,
what?
Maybe.
But I mean, Phantom Pain did have an online thing, right?
Yeah, I think it did have some kind of multiplayer. Because that came out in September 2015, so they wouldn't have been talking about Survive before then, because they weren't talking about Survive until after Kojima left, and Kojima left right at the launch of, or right after the launch.
Yeah. Dark Souls hits Xbox One. Dark Souls 2 returns, bigger and badder. And then the Human Element, Call of Duty man reveals zombie shooter. And Adrift. Can you survive the depths of space?
No,
I don't remember Human Element.
I don't either.
Maybe is that a title change?
This game, I know nothing about this. Let's see. Oh, it is a canceled online multiplayer video game under development by Robotoco for Windows and PS4 and Xbox One.
Oh, darn. All right, so now we go to Game Informer, and man, I like some of these covers, man. They do. This is the Rise of the Tomb Raider cover.
Yeah, that was incredible.
It's the sequel to the new Tomb Raider. It's Belle and the Bear, man. Yeah, it looks nice. Man, that game was incredible. I still have not beaten 3. Well, I don't think I even started 3. So yeah, I still haven't even played 3 yet. But 1 and 2 were great games. Really well done. 2 really expanded on the puzzle stuff of the tombs, and they did a really good job with. What else we have here? And that's it for March of 2015. So now we're going to April of 2015. 10 years ago, Xbox Magazine had The Witcher 3 on the front.
Yeah.
With the garrote. Looking badass. First hands-on The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Exclusive access to the RPG that makes Skyrim look like a walk in the park. Darn. They really should have said the Dragon Age game, Inquisition.
That definitely, yeah.
Well, they probably did more than make it look walk. It's like, man, this game shouldn't have existed. Also inside, Dying Light reviewed, Making of Threes. Oh, they had I didn't know Xbox had Making of Threes. Was that like an arcade game?
Just the threes. It was that it was an Xbox game. It also ended up being a phone game. It kind of got overshadowed by people that made games similar to it. 2048, I think, is the one that's the most similar to it.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. I remember that story too. Great ideas and bad games. Just Cause 3 previewed. Oh man, just 3. Now it's funny. We used to see that game being on sale a bunch of times, and you still see it on sale occasionally. In 4, you just see it a bunch of times. Project Cars Road Tested. Man, Project Cars.
I'm thinking that was the the Drive Club one, but yeah, now I remember Project Cars. They tried.
You know what? CD Projekt Red got me really messed up because I'm thinking like they spelled it wrong. They're supposed to be a K. But all right, Battlefield Hardline, hands-on with the shooter that reinvents multiplayer gaming. Forza 6, developer tells us its next-gen plans. 25 things learned from Halo 5's beta. And Smite. Oh yeah, the Halo 5 beta, that's where like you actually can zoom and shoot.
Yep.
Like with any gun. Like
that's when we find out it's gonna be awful, Dominic.
Well, the Halo players. Smite comes to Xbox One. And hey, we got Smite 2 now on Xbox Game Pass. Could this be the first great console MOBA? Yeah, I guess so. They got 2, so Xbox on Windows 10. Xbox One becomes the PC master race. Man, if only you knew. Xbox One's best games, the top 20 games revealed and rated. Darn, ain't but so many games. It's out there. Let's see here. Russ, we got here. Darn, yeah, the Xbox came out in 13?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's only been hadn't even been a full 2 years yet. Let's see. We got Edge Magazine, April. Bloodborne on the front. Oh, this is huge. The Verdict. This PlayStation exclusive by the guys of the Demon Souls. People were jealous, especially the PC master race were jealous. That they were like, "Oh, we gotta get. You need to come over here." They did. Not boycotts, but what's it called when they some protests and stuff online? Nah, like the thing where you do the protests to say like, "Hey, I want this to happen online."
Like a petition.
Change.org
petition.
Yeah, change.org. Yeah, I think it was on change.org. Yeah. And they did that, and
come on, Obama, we need Bloodborne to come to. We need an official
day,
White
man,
House
to this day
response.
It is not on the PC.
Yeah, that's wild. The one game that Sony can get convinced to get a remaster either.
Yeah, exactly. They remastered games twice. Before they remastered this one. All right. What else they got up here? Rise of the Tomb Raider, Rock Band returns. Oh yeah, I remember it did come back. What else we have here? We got Game Informer in April. Look at this, Mad Max. This was always like it seemed like always an underappreciated game that some people say who played it. Like it was really good. Some people say like, hey, it was really good, man. I mean, the movie was good. It was great. Yeah. And the game was actually all right. I mean, I think it started out with some problems. I think they had some technical problems at the beginning. So this is one of those games that it's like the so-called people who want to listen, I don't like hate people for wanting to have a game like physical. Like that's just me, but like, yes, I would love that idea that there is a physical copy of a game that is good. I mean, for preservation. So I'm like, I like that idea, but it's not. Like, that's not. It's very few games.
What they need to do, Dominic, is they need to start releasing games on rewritable DVDs or Blu-rays. So that way, when we get an update, we can then write that version of the game to the disc.
Yeah, you know what? That would
and
be
then
cool
put it on our shelf.
They would do that. Because like, what about this game, Mad Max? It's like, all right, I can't get the update no more. I
can't get my Mel Gibson skin anymore.
They had a Mel Gibson skin?
No, I was joking.
Oh.
Joking that they took out Mel Gibson.
I'm sure this is probably like maybe a mod or something. But yeah, this is a cool little cover. You see this guy jumping up here on the back. It was not as detailed as I really thought. It's probably look like the game.
I was gonna say this looks more like a gussied up screenshot from the game or something, in engine that they then painted over, touched up a little bit.
And you know what? He actually didn't drive his car much in the movie.
Yeah,
because he was in that truck. They had taken his car. All right, so that was it for 2015. So now we're going back 20 years, 2005 to March, Nintendo Power. So now we're going to this cover. I don't know why he kept this cover. I thought it was going to be one of the ones you take off. Star Fox Assault.
I miss Star Fox, Dominic. I wanted to come back and I wanted to be good.
Was this good?
It was okay.
Okay.
This is when they started to lean heavily into you're gonna use the Landmaster tank. You're even gonna get out and you're gonna play a third person shooter as Fox. And it's that's not really what I want. Like the Landmaster stuff, even in Nintendo 64 version, that was a lot of fun because it was it's a change of pace. Same with the submarine, even though the submarine level kind of sucked.
A submarine? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, there's a submarine if you go down the left path. But yeah, I want a good Star Fox game, and it's been a very long time since we've gotten a good Star Fox game. And I need somebody. I don't care if it's Nintendo first party or if they have Namco or whatever work on it again. But make a good one of those. It can't be that hard. Just make a remaster 64 again, because that's basically what you did with 64. It was just Star Fox 1 again. So just do that again.
Just looks a whole lot better.
Yeah. Just do it again, but even make it release at a discounted price. I don't care.
Oh yeah. So up here they got 2004 Nintendo Power Award nominations. Just the nominations, darn man, that's damn much.
Yeah, they're again late into the year to get the Game of the Year stuff.
Yeah. Resident Evil 4 Survival Guide. What else they got? They got on the side Need for Speed Underground 2 and NBA Street Volume 3, which I never played that one. But this is cool because it has Mario.
I was going to say, look at that Mario dunking on somebody.
Peach. Yeah. Look, dunking on somebody. That's LeBron James, Dan.
Is that LeBron James? I couldn't quite tell.
Yeah. Good. Number 23. Yeah. Cavaliers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Dunk on his ass. Put your nuts in his face. Yeah.
Yoshi's over there guarding somebody. You got everybody there.
Is that Yoshi or that's Luigi?
Not Yoshi, Luigi. Sorry.
Oh, okay. But yeah. Oh,
God, they should have put Luigi in there. I wonder what that is. Like, are they just saying that they both are on the system now?
That's what I'm about to say. Yeah, I don't know what they mean by that.
Need for Speed Underground was such a good game, Dominic.
Yeah, it was. It was a very good game. I played both of them, the 1 and 2.
Yeah. I think I even played this DS version. It was one of those things where it's heavily compromised, but for a system that didn't have a lot of games and for a series of games that I thought was a lot of fun, like, it was okay. It was one of those things where it's like, we're still not supposed to have 3D games on this system. you're still pushing it every time you do.
Yeah. All right. So now we're going to the unofficial PlayStation Magazine. 20 years ago, they had Devil May Cry 3 on the front here. Dante.
Yeah. Trash game.
And exclusive, hot or not.
Not, definitely.
You'll have to turn on page 66 to see. Oh hell, it rocks, baby. Oh, they spoiled it. And then you have PSP, first US games. And also to show Grand Theft Auto on PSP. On PSP, first details of the Grand Theft Auto. Which one was that one called?
Liberty City Stories.
Yeah, Stories, yeah. And because China Wars was on the DS.
Yeah.
And plus God of War hands-on super tests. I don't know what that means.
It means they need to keep testing that model right there because that looks real bad.
Yeah, he has no pupils. I guess he's in God mode, but I don't remember. Even when he was a god, I think he still had pupils. World's best-selling PlayStation 2 magazine still is. Played GT4, Gran Turismo 4 online. We show you how. Yeah, that's the first one to go online because the third one wasn't. First hands-on Splinter Cell, Chaos Theory, the best version. The PlayStation version,
sure,
the best version.
Yeah. No lighting whatsoever.
And Snake's Secret. A Snake's Secret game. Yeah, the lighting was in the way, Daniel. The lighting distracted. It was distracting. And
it should be like Metal Gear Solid, teaser, where everything is just a bright color.
Teaser hitting in MGS3. It's like MGS3 had lighting. I mean, it's probably was fake lighting, but still, it was lighting. Review, Gran Turismo 4, still the king. I mean, Forza. I mean, I don't know about Forza back then, so I couldn't say. Yeah, sure, you were still the king. Not anymore. You're the princess now. Reviewed, NBA Street Volume 3. They don't have like a. Looks like a PlayStation exclusive character, like Jack, or Dexter, or Hachi. Yeah.
I want Hachi. I want him and Necro to play football, basketball together.
Yeah, so that's it for that one. And we got PC Gamer Magazine. We got The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. This was huge, man. Yeah. I really wanted this game because I was like, oh man, all the stuff you can do. Let's say when the guy was describing the beginning of the game, I remember reading a magazine. I think this was in Game Informer's one though, and describing like, oh, when you leave the cave, you leave out and you see like the light is bright, and then all this forest and stuff. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to play this game. I thought like the 360 or the PlayStation 3 was going to be like $1 billion. I was like, man, I can never afford this to play something like that. And well, I was close with the PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
but not an X. Thank God for the Xbox 360. So the 11th annual PC Gamer Awards, champions crowned and gems uncovered. Oh yeah, you get the full story of Oblivion inside. Also, plus MMO customer service nightmares. I guess it is telling people's story. Darn, like people actually calling customer service. Like God, never really done that.
I can't log into my WoW account.
The amazing sequel to Morrowind. Oh, that's what they're just saying. This is a sequel to Morrowind. Also up top, Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, the exclusive super test with strategy and secrets. Look at the super test. That's just a term.
Yeah, I guess.
All right. Where else we have here? Darn, I got.
Instead of calling things beta tests, we just call them super tests now.
We got Game Informer in 2005, and I remember this magazine.
Yeah.
I had this one. Condemned on the front, a game I never played because I was scared of.
That was like one of the best launch games for the Xbox. Oh my goodness, Dominic, look at this. For the Xbox 2.
Sega redefines horror. A sneak peek at next generation terror for the Xbox 2, PS3, and PC. Well, Daniel, if they would have called Xbox 2, it would have not sold as much because people would have been like, oh, well, it's not a PS3.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what's their excuse for the Xbox One then, Dominic?
Yeah, they were just all bad with that marketing for that system. That's why I think I still think it was on purpose. I think it's Illuminati, Daniel. I think it's Illuminati.
Got trade wins.
Like, yeah, there was like, look, man, say, look, Microsoft, y'all making enough money. Let Sony. Sony is really doing bad in the movies industry and the films and stuff. Let them have the game market. Let them have at least be second in the game market to Nintendo. Like I don't need to take over. I think that's the deal, Daniel. Behind closed doors. From the minds behind Eco, you got Wanda and the Colossus. What? That's what it was called?
That might have been it. Well, no. Wasn't Wanda the name of the girl from Eco?
I don't know these people's names, Dan.
Yeah, I think the girl that you drag around in Eco might have been Wanda, so maybe they're referencing her, or maybe that's what the game was called at one point, because maybe she was going to be involved.
They got Star Wars Republic Commando review. They got The Verdict is in, Devil May Cry 3, Dante's Awakening.
Oh, okay. Maybe that was the Japanese version, because in the United States his name was Wander, but in Japanese it was Wanda. So I guess, yeah.
Wow, if they would have had that man named Wanda.
You got a fish named Wanda. Why can't this man name be Wanda?
Wanda Sykes and Shadow the Colossus. But I will say, oh yeah, Condemned. So that was like, how horror was it? Condemned.
There was jump scare stuff, absolutely, but it wasn't like, it was mostly like you're dealing with like crazy people and not like weird monsters and stuff, as far as I remember.
Oh, so you just killing the crazies. That's what you're doing.
Pretty much. You're just beating up on homeless people, basically, Dominic. I think you were a cop like too, or at least a former cop. Yeah, just like Batman. But it's very like, it was melee focused, so you pick up like pipes and wrenches and stuff and do some damage.
Yeah,
like
I did.
that.
Yeah, I did see that like in the previews and stuff.
Yeah. I like that.
All right, so that is it for March. So now we're going to April 2005, and we got Nintendo Power here. Killer 7. This was part of that Capcom thing where they was Nintendo had all these games. This is probably about the last of it, probably now.
It was getting close to the end of it, I think, because we already got Resident Evil 4. We got that, so we probably had already gotten. Yeah, we got Beautiful Joe already. I think we already got Piano 3, because I want to say that was one of the early ones. Piano 3.
I don't know what Piano 3 is.
Piano 3. It was the one with the woman in the white suit where she like danced around while she shot down a corridor or something like that. It's very weird.
Man, I gotta see that game.
Yeah, it came out.
Never heard of Piano 3.
Here, I'm gonna send you the.
I was thinking about what's that game called? No More Heroes for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was thinking about that game for some reason. But yeah, Piano 3, I don't remember that. But yeah, so Killer 7, yeah, I always like the look of this game. So I was kind of jealous. I was like, oh man, they're getting this nice art style type of game. But then when I saw, I think Game Informer gave it like a 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's coincident. I was like, oh,
weird
man, I don't
on
care.
rails almost type thing. It was very odd.
Yeah, I never played it. But it has a nice art style.
Yeah.
I also got Resident Evil 4 over here. You also got Castlevania for the DS over here.
Mm-hmm.
And Wario shows his wares. So there you go. He got some clothing to buy, some Wario clothing to buy. They show in the magazine. All right. What else we got here? We got PC Gamer for April 20 years ago. We got Call of Duty 2, the world exclusive preview. This was a good game, and this is really like the first next gen Call of Duty. Because I remember the Xbox 360 showing that off. I used to be like, oh man, this looked really good. Yeah. I didn't play online or anything, so but single player was fun and it looked cool.
Mm-hmm.
What else? This is like the whole cover, yeah. Well, right here, 50 greatest games of all time. The indisputable list. This is the indisputable.
Yeah, we got to read this and argue with them because I'm sure.
Yeah,
sure is highly disputable. Yeah, Call of Duty. It's amazing how that series basically just took the Band of Brothers aesthetic and and ran with it.
What the heck? PNO. Oh, this is what you were showing me. Yeah. PN03. Oh, I didn't know it stood for. I didn't know that stood for piano.
No, it doesn't. I was saying PN03.
Oh, you're saying PN03. Oh, okay. I can barely hear you. So, okay. Now I know what you're talking about. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And this game didn't get reviewed that well.
No,
right?
It didn't.
Yeah.
And I think this was like one of the first of the Capcom 5 or whatever, and it was like we're like super excited as GameCube owners, like, oh, we're getting Capcom games, and then this game came and I was like, what is this game? Like, what are we doing here?
It's the official Xbox magazine. We got Jade Empire on the front. This is one of the characters from Jade Empire. She's one of the 2 women that's on your team, I want to say. I'm trying to think, is there a third woman on the team? I don't think so. There's one that's a little sexier than her. She's like a little more, she has an attitude. Like one has an attitude. She's like, this is one I think you, maybe a childhood friend, I think. So it's like, oh, you want to be, if you're good, you be with her. If you're bad, even I think if you're good, you can still be with the other one. I'm not sure based on your choices. Darn, I kind of want to play this game again because I didn't play this game in so long. I know they've done the remastered before, but I don't know. I think it's remastered, but it's not really like. I don't know if they did it like a quality of life remaster with it.
Right.
Yeah. So. I'll try it. I mean, one day I'll try it. I don't know.
Definitely seems like it could be an easy win for them to do, something like this. Like, while they're struggling with everything else, just set a team aside, do some remasters of this, do some remasters of shit.
Well, technically they did, I thought. They did do a remaster of this.
Like a more update.
like a remake.
Take a page out of Sony's book and do the second remaster of the remaster.
Yeah, because Jade, I mean, this was really good, man. Like, I really enjoyed it because this is one where, like, this is where they really probably the first Bioware game where I played where there actually is action. Mm-hmm. Like in KOTOR, you kind of just press the attack button and they'll go over there and attack. This is one you actually had to press the buttons and you do special moves and stuff like that. And like a regular action game. And I guess that was the start of them doing that. Like a little bit more, even though Mass Effect, it kind of went back. It was still more action than KOTOR. But Dragon Age, it was the first Dragon Age. It was like a little less of Jade Empire. Then I guess they went full like total, even beyond Jade Empire and Dragon Age 2. But and definitely Mass Effect 2. But yeah, Jade Empire, like doing the Chinese lore and things of that nature. It was cool. I mean, you do different choices. You know, you be evil, good, or neutral, and stuff like that. Like I love this game. Like this is my favorite Bioware game. For a bit until Mass Effect came out. Like I liked it better. Like even though I liked the world of Star Wars more than this, but this was a better game. Like this was a better game than that. Also, what else we got here? Plus the very latest on Xbox Next, which I'm thinking is the next Xbox.
Yeah.
I mean the
Xbox
Xbox 360. Facts revealed, fiction exposed, rumors squashed. Also, High Seas Hijinks, Sid Meier's Pirates. Oh, I remember this. I never played it though. Swashbuckling adventure for all the family. And the biggest review issue ever, Brothers in Arms exclusive, stunning World War II action and strategy. Area 51 unlocks its secrets. I really wanted this game, Area 51, and I think I finally played it. It was okay. Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, the best game ever on Xbox. Oh my god, get the fuck out of here. I was like, yeah. I said, okay, fine. I was like, if that's the best game ever, then that was a horrible system. That was a horrible system. I'm like, it's better than those Bioware games. Get the fuck out of here. It's better than Halo. You say it's better than Halo 2?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Absolutely that.
All right, where else? What else we have here? Where I'm at? OPM, the official Places magazine, 20 years ago. Oh, you actually put this up here, man. The PSP robot apparently, or OPM, or the official PlayStation magazine.
I think it looks really
robot
good, and mostly I put it up there just because it has a list of the PSP launch titles, and we never really like talked too much about. We mentioned a couple of games, but not really what they had.
Yeah. So the PSP launch lineup, they have Ape Escape was on there. Is it Ape Escape on Loose?
Yeah,
yes,
Ape
that's
Escape
what it is.
Loose.
ATV Off-World Fury, Blazing Trails. They got Darkstalkers Chronicle, or
it's
the Chaos
Darkstalkers
Tower.
Chronicle, the Chaos Tower. Yeah,
the Chaos Tower. Dynasty Warriors. FIFA 2005. Gretzky NHL. Luminous. Metal Gear Acid. MLB. The game was just called MLB. I don't believe that.
Look at that, Dominic. They had 2
MVP.
baseball games.
MVP Baseball, NBA. It was just called NBA. Whatever. NBA Street Showdown. Need for Speed Underground Rivals. NFL Street 2 Unleashed. Rengoku. Tower of Purgatory. Ridge Racer. Spark Ball. Spider-Man 2. Tiger Woods PGA Tour. Thugs 2 Remix. Thug 2 Remix. I don't remember. Oh, that's Tony Hawk Underground.
Yeah,
okay. I was about to say, like, what the fuck is Thug? Twisted Metal, Head On, and also Untold Legends. Which that wasn't that like was that an action RPG or like an action game, like in the something like that? And Wipeout Pure. Yeah, it's the purest of Wipeout. Pure cocaine. Let's say World Tour Soccer.
Yeah, I mean, it really goes to show like what audience they were trying to get with this lineup. Like, it wasn't necessarily
the hardcore, like your daughter's age.
Okay. Of course. But it was the cool kids that wanted to play the sports games and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like this. Yeah, this is like the audience. Like, if I was still a dependent at the time, because now I wasn't, I would have asked my mom to get me this thing and some of these games. Like, yes, like this is the extreme Game Boy. Yeah,
Exactly.
All the ladies gonna come at me when I have this PSP.
When you whip this out of my pocket, start playing these games. All the girls come around.
All right. And the last one for 20 years ago, we got Sean Connery on the front.
Yeah.
The digitized Sean Connery. Young Sean Connery from Russia with Love. 007. And
they tried so hard with
they
this
were
game.
doing. So they were actually doing a James Bond based off like one of the old movies, and it didn't turn out well, even though it seemed ambitious. But yeah, then you got the PS2 classic return, SOCOM 3, U.S. Navy SEALs. Yeah, that was like people really liked that game. The future of gaming, Generation Next.
The Unreal Guy.
Do with Xbox and Xbox 360 and the maybe PS3. And from past to present, The Legend of Zelda. I guess they go through all this Legend of Zelda stuff.
Oh, somebody finally investigating the timeline of Zelda, Dominic.
And they had that book, and I remember that book was on sale at the Walmart I used to work at. Like in the back, they had like a clearance. I forgot how much it costs too. I think I had told you too. I was like, "Hey, this thing's only blah blah blah."
The Hyrule store.
Whatever. Yeah. It would be funny if it was still there if I go there. Let me see. That was it? No. Yes, that was it. For 2005. And now we're going back 30 years to March. GamePro. And they had Comic Zone. I remember this. This is probably one of my last Sega games I got for Christmas. It was Christmas of 95. Yes, Christmas 95. I got Comic Zone. Yeah, because I was in 5th grade. And yeah, that was my last. Yeah, because after that, I got N64. And I really want Comic Zone. And I don't know what I thought Comic Zone was, but it wasn't what I played. And the Comic Zone was an okay game. It was hard as shit though for me as a kid. Like I could only get to like the second stage, but I thought it was when I used to see the guy drawing on the comics. I thought you could do that.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like, oh, you can just put things anywhere and do some crazy shit. I really thought that was a game. When I played the game, that's all you can do that. I was a little disappointed. I ain't tell my parents that because I ain't want them to feel bad, even though I don't think they would have. But I always thought that. I always said,
this is what you asked for. You should have did some more research first. They'll know what to tell you.
Yeah, because I thought that game. But I played it. I played the shit out of those 2 levels I can only play. Because I couldn't get to. Because, yeah, man, that game was hard. Like, it would take forever to beat up a person. Like, it takes so many hits to fight an enemy. I don't know. And to this, I don't know. Like, how was this game rated? Was this rated like a really good game?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, I don't know. But I just know they had commercials for it.
Oh, yeah. I remember seeing the ads for this. I was very jealous of this. I was like, man, that thing looks so cool.
It did. It looked really good. I was like, oh, wow, Comic Zone. But it got me as a young kid who
IGN gave the Xbox Live version a 6.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see that. I can see that being a 6 even then, honestly. Yeah. But I could have just sucked. All right, what we got here? Free Sega CD Pro Strategy Guide for Eternal Champions, hitting special moves, overkills, and more. Also, pro reviews of Tough Man contests. Okay. Metal Warriors, Spider-Man. What Spider-Man is this one? I mean, like, wait a minute. I know what Spider-Man. That was a Spider-Man based off the TV show.
I was gonna say, is it the Spider-Man with the spider killers or whatever, the spider hunters? I can't remember.
Actually, you know what? Maybe it is not the Spider-Man based off the TV show then, because that didn't come out until the PlayStation.
Let's see, Spider-Man 1995 game. Okay, yeah, it's based off the cartoon. It was got Venom on the front.
It is. Yes,
with the lizard and
that's
Doc
right. That's
Ock
right.
and
Yes,
yeah.
I did, and I played this one. I think I wanted this one, and I don't think I got it, but I bought it from Blockbuster.
Yeah, I think I rented this one. Or no. No, I owned this one. So I remember this level. Whew, this game was hard.
You don't have to lie to me, Daniel. You don't have to lie to me. Okay, Quarantine for 3DO. It was a hit at the time, Daniel. That's why I didn't sell that well. The Kirby's Dream Course.
Yeah.
And also World Series Baseball 95. Also, they got previews of Primal Rage for home systems. I guess for all the home systems. Also, Cyber Sled. Oh, yeah. Sledding. Oh, yes. Cyber Sled. What the fuck is that? Myst for the PlayStation. And Chaotix. Oh, yeah, Chaotix.
Yeah.
I think I know what that is. Yeah, that is not the Chaotix. That's a Chaotix from Sonic. No. Chaotix game. No, it is, yeah.
Is it not the Sonic
Knuckles game.
Yeah.
It's the Knuckles game that it was something about this game that it was weird. I don't remember.
Because it was a Sonic game that didn't have Sonic in it.
Yeah. No, not just that.
And they tried to make it 3D and it makes you sick.
Wait a minute. Was those characters? That's the Knuckles Sonic. So he was in Chaotix?
Yeah.
I did not know that. I thought he was a made up character for Sonic Mania.
No, I think the other one might have been though.
The Tails one.
Yeah.
Was this game good? Was Chaotix good? That's not true that Sonic and Knuckles was the last good Sonic game.
Yeah, let's see. On Wiki, it shows OneUp.com with a B, EGM with a 7.4, Famitsu with a 25 out of 40, GamePro with a 2 out of 5, GameFan with a 98 out of 100, IGN with a 6 out of 10, Next Gen with a 2 out of 5. So
I know, yeah, it's probably middling. Yeah. I believe in
game was
IGN
considered a wasted
Famitsu.
opportunity. Why was anybody writing about it in 2008 though? That's my question.
Oh yeah, the ring that it held. Yeah, it's like a ring, and the player stays with you. Like they hold the other side of the ring. Yeah, something different.
Yeah, I see somebody here. The rubber band multiplayer system was criticized despite being acknowledged as an effort to innovate. Though IGN
He's an armadillo.
admired
That's what he is.
Oh, is that what he's supposed to be? Okay. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, good God.
What's that pink rhino supposed to be? Is he just supposed to be a rhino?
Nah, it's a squirrel.
Oh, okay.
It's like there is a Ray the Flying Squirrel though. Well, wait a minute. They said, "Oh no, that's not in the game. That's
Okay.
These are like all obscure Sonic characters, and they were just naming them. Because Big the cat, KO, Chaos, this KO and Chaos. All right. But yeah, Chaotix. So yeah, that's probably one of the last. I mean, it's probably still better than Sonic 3D Blast. All right. Oh yeah, Hot Game Systems from 1995. What is that? A Sega Saturn? Right here. I never seen a great one. Sega's supposed to be all black. All right. They don't get gray until the Dreamcast. All right, so what else we have here? We got Nintendo Power, and we got look at it, the Chicago Bull, baby,
Yeah.
and he dunking on a brown Hornet. I thought the Hornet's supposed to be like turquoise, but then again, the Bull supposed to be red. But oh, I guess they're black people. I guess that's what they're trying to do.
I guess. I mean, that's what they're. Yeah, that's what their bodies are.
Morph.
Should have made a little more effort there.
That is actually pretty fucking scary. NBA Jam Tournament Edition. Cold tip off. Speedy Gonzalez, the game, Daniel.
Yeah.
This is when he wasn't racist. And Meta Warriors. And Hagani? Or something? What is that?
I don't know. Hagane.
First looks at CES report. Star
Hagane,
Fox
the
2.
Final Conflict is an action platform game for the Super Nintendo.
Okay. Oh, look at the CES report. Star Fox 2 down. That never came out until
a couple years ago.
What was it? The Switch?
Yep. Until Virtual Console.
And also Virtual Boy. The future, Daniel.
The future.
Virtual reality. Also, new Epic Center. The Adventures Begin. I don't know what that is.
I'm not sure they knew either.
And what is this? NP94 awards?
Nintendo Power
Awards.
Yeah.
Okay. Vote here. Yeah, vote for the games.
Man, they really do wait until like mid the next year to get all their stuff done.
Yeah. The only inside source for all Nintendo games, Daniel.
That's what I'm
The
heard.
official Nintendo seal of
So my uncle who worked for Nintendo.
What else we have? We got Game Informer in 1995, and they also got NBA Jam TE on the front.
Yep.
And they X-Men 2 Clone Wars. Oh man, they're fighting in the Clone Wars 2 with Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker and
General Kenobi, General Cyclops,
GI
General
reviews. Sega's newest mutant monster. What I don't know what that is. But plus Beyond Oasis, Popful Mail, and news from the Winter CES. Star Fox 2, which they show right here.
Yeah.
Fox McCloud returns Star Fox 2.
That's the only reason I kept this up here is because that Fox, like, that's what they need to do, Dominic. They need to remaster these games and make it look like that.
Yeah, look like the puppet.
Ultra real. I want ultra real Star Fox puppet.
Oh, Virtual Fighter 2 storms into the arcades, man.
That guy doesn't look
And
convinced.
now we're going to April 1995. And we got Game 4. We got this woman here. From Eternal Champions Challenge from the Dark Side. The Dark Secrets Exposed. Ooh. She exposing Daniel.
If it's Eternal Champion, she's exposing a lot, Dominic. Most of the 17 livers that she's got inside her body.
Kirby's back. GI reviews Kirby's newest adventures. Also, plus Toshinden.
Yeah, Toshinden.
Metal Warriors. And Earthworm Jim. What's SE stand for? Special edition?
I would imagine. Sexy edition.
Sexy edition. Yeah. Also, Leaping Lizards is Gex, baby.
Gex is back.
That's the thing. Is Gex back or Gex
I think
is here for the first
Gex,
time?
yeah,
because
he's back in here
Into
for
the
the
Gecko,
first time.
they come out years. The first Gex I ever played was Into the Gecko.
How are those sunglasses useful to him, Dominic? In what way?
Yeah, he was a cool lizard, man. Look, I don't know why did they try to sue the Gecko?
I don't know.
Gecko?
If not, they should have.
Yeah. That's that's the only reason I didn't name my lizard Gex, because she was a girl. And I didn't think she appreciated that if I did that. But I mean, but I forgot the name when I did get a boy lizard. I named it Leo, and they
After
did
the
not like each
Ninja
other.
Turtle.
Well, they fought because they fought over the same cricket. Like she had the cricket, and then he took it out of her mouth. He looked at him and started biting on him, and then he started running away from her. And then I had to separate them. Had to put him in another tank. All right. Let's see. What else got? Oh, Killer Instinct up here in the corner. Who was that? The two-headed monster.
I don't remember his name.
Oh, is that it? Idol?
That might be it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was the boss, right?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Man, they were just copying what's we call it from Mortal Kombat. They say, oh, this we have a sitting in 4 arms, we give him 2 heads.
Yep.
All right,
definitely Goro ripoff.
Game Pro 2005 in April. We got Sub-Zero in front of here, man. Mortal Kombat 3. That's how the game looked too. All real people.
They need to remake this game with these real people too.
I mean, technically there were like real people, but yeah, and bigger and badder. New character info inside. Also, they got the Genesis Pro strategy for Phantasy Star 4. And they got pro reviews for Road Rash 3, X-Men 2, True Lies the game. Oh my goodness. Return Fire, Flashback, Mortal Kombat 2 for the 32X, Earthworm Jim, Sega CD, and previews for Mega Man 7. Primal Rage is coming home. Yes, we're going to get it home consoles.
As we've been told, yeah.
And the Lane Pro was banned in Boston, Daniel.
That's because look at that. He's got Earthworm Jim Sexy Edition on the cover. That's why.
And Neo Geo CD. Yes. That's the future right there, baby.
The only one Neo Geo I respect, and it's the pocket color, Dominic.
Sega Saturn and Sony PlayStation games inside also. And now our last magazine is Electronic Game Monthly in 1995. And it's taking a long time to load up. Oh, that's our archive. And wow.
This was the real face-off, Dominic.
What the hell is this?
It probably took you to where you were.
This is a ugly version of Kano and an ugly version of Ryu. I didn't get each other.
This was EGM's art style, man. They just had so many extra cross hatches everywhere.
That's the thing, yeah. Actually, the art style's not that bad. They seem like they gave up on the eyes for Ryu. And
the eyes were
really
implied.
Yeah. Actually, Kano's not really that bad either.
I mean, this is just what like 90s dudes look like in comic books. Everything was like extra veiny, extra muscular, a lot of cross hatching.
And that's why everybody always say like, "Oh, Superman don't look big enough. It has to be Cavill because he takes steroids and looks super built."
Hey, man's too busy building PCs and painting Warcraft figures to be on anything. There's no way.
I think that's the whole point. That's why he is on anything. He's too busy building PCs and Warcraft and
go
stuff.
To the gym. Yeah.
Number 69, Daniel. Yes. Your guide to Super Nintendo, Genesis, and 32X, Sega CD, 3DO, Saturn, all the damn systems. So this is like Mortal Kombat 3 versus Street Fighter Legends, which I don't think that's what it's called.
I think Street Fighter 3 probably won that match then.
I don't think it's 3. I think it's
Street Fighter 3. I'm sorry, Mortal Kombat 3. That's what I meant to say.
Oh yeah, this is Street Fighter Alpha, right? I think that's what it's.
That's what I want to say.
Yeah. So I guess they call it Legends. I mean, I guess because Alpha is first, and they changed it to Alpha. Maybe. Yeah. I was very confused when I first saw Street Fighter Alpha. We went to King's Dominion, and we went out. We left King's Dominion to eat somewhere, and I saw an arcade. I was like, because it looked different, like it was like anime look, and I was thinking like Alpha, and I had learned, I think in school recently, like Alpha is first. So I was like, oh, is this an old Street Fighter game? That this is before 2? Or something like that. That's for some reason I was just thinking that. This was like an old Street Fighter game or something. And like this is like I'd never put it together till like years later to like my friend had it on the PlayStation, like Alpha 2 or 3 or whatever. I was like, oh, this is a whole like separate series, separate series for Street Fighter. I said, oh, I didn't know that. Yeah. I said, for some reason as a little kid, I thought this shit was like, oh, this is like the old Street Fighter before 2 or something. And say, but it looks different. It looks different. It looks kind of good, but I don't know what I'm looking at. Inside EGM, you got Rayman, Red Zone. I don't know what that is. Cyberbots, Rail Chase 2. Yeah, I'm saying a lot of games I've never heard of. Cyber Cycles, I think I heard of that one. Black Dawn I heard of. Is just kind of recently released again. Chrono Trigger, heard of. Elevator Action 2, never heard of that one. I'm assuming you're in an elevator and you're fighting things on each level. That's what I'm going to say. Each floor you go on. Wing Commander 2, Knuckles Chaotix, NFL Quarterback Club.
Yeah.
And you got right here, 2 hottest fighters go head to head. Okay, that's what it said. PlayStation 2, EGM has the insider info on Sony's future plans. Oh, didn't somebody else have that?
Yeah. Competing over this information, Dominic.
Plus, EGM exclusive direct from Japan, Darkstalkers 2.
Heck yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Darkstalkers back.
And we got the fighting games up here. You see Street Fighter Legends, Mortal Kombat 3, Fatal Fury 3. Look at that. Primal Rage, Killer Instinct, man. What the hell? A good day to be a gamer back then, man. So great. So awesome. We were buying these $80 games back then. They were worth $1 million with inflation. Mm-hmm. We were paying for $1 million games back then, Daniel. Why can't we pay for them now?
Good question.
All right, so that's it for the 5 minute segment. So we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we get to the gaming news.
All right.
And we're back. So let's get to the gaming news. What we got, Dan?
All right, Dominic. The only thing worth talking about this week, Nintendo Switch 2 Direct happened on April 2nd. We got basically all of the details we could want about this thing. It's got a bigger screen. It's still an LCD screen, but it's going to have HDR. It's going to be 1080p. It's going to do 120 frames per second.
Wait. Time out. Is it really going to do that? Because they said that the Series X and I remember the Series X saying it. Maybe PS5 said it too. It can do that 120 frames per second also, but we don't really see a lot of games do that.
Well, seemingly so far they have games that are doing that. They showed off Metroid Prime 4, which will have a Switch 2 Enhanced Edition, which will include so they're doing the Pro model thing now, Dominic. They're doing the performance or quality mode thing. And they're going to offer a quality mode for that game of 4K 60 or a performance mode of 180p and 120 frames per second. And that's what it should be doing on the handheld, as well as the mouse features. So they did confirm there is a mouse feature on both of the Joy-Cons. There is an IR sensor, so you can set it down on the table on its side and then use your shoulder buttons as your clicky buttons. And you can do that in a couple of games that they showed off. But real quick, let's get into some of the details of like the system itself. It's going to be $450, or at least was announced to be $450.
And this wasn't announced during the Direct.
Correct. This came out of press releases after the fact. They did announce the release date, which will be June 5th, so not far away. 2 months from the time that they showed off this Direct effectively. And And then from these press releases, $450 for the system, $500 if you get it bundled with Mario Kart World, which was one of the games that they had teased at the previous Direct. They showed it off here. It is a open world Mario game, 24 players, and it is seemingly going to have a lot more to it as well. People are speculating. There's going to be another Direct, I think, on April 15th for that game exclusively. So we might be seeing like a lot of like Forza Horizon-esque stuff for that, side quests and whatnot. It seems really cool. It seems like basically all of the courses are incorporated within this open world area, and you just kind of roll up and you vote on where you want to go with friends if you're playing with friends, and you just start the courses. You know, there's a rolling start on some of them after you do your initial start in the first course of a circuit. And then in some of the cases, you have to like race between the last course that you were at and the next course to get started. So it definitely sounds like they're taking this and expanding it in a way that, you know, maybe we weren't thinking about, because a lot of people were speculating like, oh, what do you do like Smash Kart? Because you're really like reaching the end of this Mario Kart thing, but instead of kind of keeping the gameplay pretty regular and locked down, they're actually seemingly putting a lot of effort into expanding that. They are opening up the roster of characters, obviously, with 24 players needed. You got a lot of kind of Mario World tangential characters in there, you know, Charging Chuck and Piranha Plants and all that kind of stuff that you can play as.
This dude who was playing this game, I might as well dude play this game. He has a huge fro.
Oh yeah, on the Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, he does. He looks kind of like Bob Ross out there with that thing.
That's why I said Bob. And look, he's a white dude.
And he's a white dude. Yes, he is. Yeah, you
that's
can barely see his mic.
Bob
It just
Ross.
blends in with his fro. He said Bob Ross.
It really does. Oh my fucking God.
Yeah. So that's the first game they kind of showed off. Next up in the list of features, the C button was revealed to be for game chat, which is going to allow you to chat with your friends while playing on your Switch, as well as see them if you buy the camera that you can also purchase for this. Basically like Xbox 360 Vision camera style, $50 for that. Now, they did something that I have to commend them for, which is show us actual footage of this, seemingly not doctored up. But as a result, like, man, seeing what I would be sharing with my friends as far as like gameplay looked absolutely terrible. It was super low frame rate, super low resolution. Like, in what world would I really want to do this?
Real video though.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, props to them for showing that off. Like, as opposed to like me getting it and then being like, this doesn't look that like that video. But like, we're in 2025, Dominic. It doesn't have to look this way.
For them, it does. They are still learning.
I know.
The internet. It is a very complicated.
They're on baby legs.
You know, in the cyber world.
This series of tubes, yes. Yeah, it's so weird. I mean, obviously, for the younger audience is probably a cool thing. Although I feel like the younger audience is like on Discord and they can just do this better. But
exactly.
But I'm never going to touch this button, Dominic. They should give me the ability to remap this button as another like start button or something like that, because I am never going to press this button. I'm going to accidentally press this button and then get annoyed because it boots me into this like chat interface that I didn't want to be in. All right, on a more positive note, GameCube is coming to the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pass for launch. They have announced Wind Waker, Soul Calibur 2, and F-Zero GX. Obviously, this is probably one of the reasons why we did not ever receive that Wind Waker remaster HD from the Wii U that we very much had been rumored to be coming.
Which is weird that they didn't, because it's like y'all can get a lot of money.
You could have double dipped. You could have sold that, and then you could have also done this. Like, it's weird.
Yeah.
Because like they did that with the Mario collection. They sold that. They sold Mario Sunshine, and then they're going to put Mario Sunshine in this. But yeah, so they did show off a couple of other titles that will come a little bit further down the line, including Super Mario Sunshine, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, Super Mario Strikers, Chibi Robo, Luigi's Mansion, and Pokemon Coliseum. I know some people are happy out there because some of these games, even if you just want to play them and not be like a collector, like Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness and Chibi Robo, are super expensive to buy. So people are excited about that, having a legal means of playing those things now. And then they also talked about enhancements to Switch games. Not all games will be enhanced. Some games may even have issues because it is a different architecture. They did release a list of games that you may see, graphical glitches or audio glitches. Regular standard fare for these kind of like different generations and different architectures of backwards compatibility. We saw this a lot with like the PlayStation more so than the Xbox, just because the Xbox is seemingly put more effort into making stuff backwards compatible. But the games that are getting enhancements, it seems like there's different tiers of things. So there's a list out there right now of games that you will just get enhancements for that includes like Link's Awakening and Echoes of Wisdom, ARMS, things of that nature. Game Dev Garage, which probably adds like mouse support, maybe even. And then there's another tier.
What about Labo?
Labo, I think, is not going to be carried over, unfortunately, Dominic. The IR sensor no longer exists in the same way, so I think that negates a lot of that stuff. For some of the more advanced updates, like the Zelda games, the 3D Zelda games, those are going to get enhanced editions that they're then going to be selling as box copies as well, for an exorbitant price. But if you own those games already and you own Nintendo Switch Online, you will see those enhancements come to you for free as well, and that includes like a 120 frame per second update and a 1080p update. 4K if docked. The dock does have a fan there in it now, so theoretically the idea is that then they can clock that chip higher when it's docked. So that'll be interesting to see how that's utilized, especially for me as someone who regularly is just playing handheld mode. I wonder if you could get like the grip that I get or have gotten for the Switch, and will probably end up getting for the Switch too if I end up with one of these things. It'd be interesting to see if they could like trick the Switch 2 into doing the performance of a docked mode and then have like a fan in that grip as well to do that. So yeah, those two games specifically will be included. Their enhancements will be included in Nintendo Switch Online. And then there are other games like Kirby and the Forgotten Lands, which is getting an update, but it's also getting additional content. So it sounds like that's going to cost money, and we will see how much money that will be, but they have not officially confirmed anything as of yet.
I just can't see it being like only like $10, like how PlayStation is.
Yeah, especially when with the pricing of the games that we've seen. We'll go through the games that we saw real quick from Nintendo, and then we'll get into the pricing a little bit before we get into third-party stuff. They showed off a kind of tech demo-esque thing called Welcome Center. But after showing it off, they had a little note that it was going to be a paid experience. And like, what are we even doing here? It is literally like you as a little person walking around a Nintendo Switch and there being like mini games of like, guess the frame rate and things of that nature. So like the idea that they would charge even $2 for this is kind of a slap in the face, because if it's only $2, why not give it to us for free? If it's $10, this probably isn't even worth that. That was the first like pricing thing where people are like, what's going on here? They also showed off Kirby Air Riders. This is a new Sakurai game. I guess basically after Smash Brothers, he can do whatever he wants, because what are we doing getting a Kirby Air Ride sequel in the year 2025, the same year that we'll be getting an open world Mario Kart game? That doesn't make any sense to me. Why wouldn't you at least have it come out like next year? There is also a game, Drag X Drive, which is a basketball wheelchair game, a wheelchair basketball game. Your characters are in wheelchairs. You use the Joy-Cons on their sides in mouse mode in both of them to grab and roll back, basically like you're controlling a wheelchair. And then you can shoot by lifting up your Joy-Con and doing that stuff, motion control stuff. They did not, as far as I saw, announce a price for that yet. I would be astonished if they tried to charge full price for that, but that would basically be like fitting into the ARMS slot, where it's like, this game definitely shouldn't have been full price, but I guess if you think you're going to get away with it. They showed off Metroid Prime 4, and it has mouse controls for shooting, seamlessly moving between both Joy-Cons, and then you can set down the right Joy-Con on its side and just immediately go into mouse mode. Seemed very, very cool and intuitive. Still no release date for this game, though, which is kind of shocking to me. Outside of 2025. So I'm a little concerned, because they filled out a lot of timeline this year and aren't giving that game a definitive spot. And that makes me wonder if that game could actually slip into next year. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, the next Zelda Musou game, that is coming out this year, holiday. So that's what's fitting in there. What'd you think of that, Dominic, as our resident Musou guy?
I mean, that's cool. That's cool that they do another one. I mean, I still haven't beaten the current one yet. I played a lot of it though, so it's like, since I'm not going to be playing whatever the Zelda last one was called. This will be the version I play, and so I'll be like, oh, so there you go. I'll play the best version of that universe. So there you go.
And then the kind of surprise announcement was a new Donkey Kong game in 3D, a 3D platformer. Donkey Kong Bonanza. This is coming out July 15th, so not a launch title, but kind of within the launch window there. And this looks kind of crazy. Like, there's like destructibility in the environments. You can just pick stuff up and chuck it at other parts of the environment and either blow it up or like stick to it. You can pull chunks out of the ground and ride around on them. You can dig down into the ground. It's very like Red Faction coded almost. But this uses that new design of Donkey Kong that people were noticing in the first Mario Kart trailer from the first Switch 2 announcement trailer. He's kind of a little goofier looking. And yeah, this game looks pretty neat. It looks, different. A lot of people were expecting to see a Mario game in this spot. And this is perhaps that Mario team that worked on this game. So if that's the case, then there's obviously a pedigree there. I'm absolutely interested in seeing what they're doing. I just want to see like how expansive this world is. Is this going to be a smaller experience? I wonder, partly because of the price.
Yeah.
But also, like, I just wonder, like, is it going to be like level based, or is it going to be like a more expansive world? In general, what'd you think of that Donkey Kong, Dominic?
Yeah, I mean, I think it looks cool, man. I'm looking at the Treehouse right now because I ain't watched on the Treehouse stuff because I was angry. But yeah, looking at it, looking at it, it looks pretty neat. Like a lot of these games looks really neat. Even though, like, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Like these graphics are they're fine. They're fine graphics, but they're also are not like great, like super like they're not graphics like high powered graphics. Yeah. Like they ain't something.
This isn't Ratchet and Clank.
Oh shit! I need an RTX or something like that to do shit. Maybe like a 4090 to play something like this. Something like this, So when I see things like, oh, it can run at 1080p or better, or it can run at 120 frames per second, I'm thinking like, well, I'm happy it does, and it should, because you're not that high powered. I hope you do, and I'm glad you do now. So, I mean, I'm also the art style, like I said, we always talk about Nintendo, their art style benefits from that too, that you don't have to be super detailed and whatever. Even though I do prefer, I don't know, I can't get over it. I want why his fur looks like this. It doesn't look like the normal fur I remember. I seen on the GameCube first seeing it.
Yeah, no, it's very a different route cartoonized. It's definitely like weird chunks of fur instead of, the very detailed like a Ratchet and Clank or like the previous Donkey Kong games even.
But it looks good though, and I mean, I looked at this and the Metroid. Did you talk about the Metroid? Because I'm be honest with you, I was okay. So that was you talking, because I was looking at that, I think, while you were talking about it, so I was kind of engrossed into that. So, and you said that you're scared that it's going to. Is that the one you're talking about? You don't
slip
know
into 2026. Yeah, because they said 2025, okay. But we've got launch covered. And if it was at launch, I feel like they would have said that because we're 2 months away.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
We've got July covered because they got Donkey Kong then. We've got holiday covered with Hyrule Warriors and Kirby's Air Riders.
And and like looking at that game, I mean the Metroid game, it looks really good. And it looks really well, and it runs very well. But like I said, because it's not, I don't think it's physically demanding like some of these other games are.
Yeah, no.
With the technology that what is the Switch, it should do that. Now I'm curious to see what a game like Cyberpunk runs on the Switch.
Yeah,
and of that nature, and like games like that. And yeah, I mean, I kind of think they're not going to run like it is on PC, but would it still run like to a way that like, man, like this is actually pretty good. Or it's going to be
from
like
the hands-on of like
see it.
Cyberpunk specifically, I've seen people say, well, first off, they have the performance and quality modes as well. Their quality mode runs at 30 frames per second, whereas their performance mode only runs at 40 frames per second. Basically, what I've seen is it runs about as well as it does on the Steam Deck, which is to say it's playable. But when you look at like details like the hair and things of that nature, you definitely notice that it's a step down in quality from the normal game.
Yeah. So it seems like I'm back at where I was at. Like Nintendo games is where I'm going to be playing on the system. And hopefully Pokemon plays a whole lot better than it fucking did on the other system. Even though I think Pokemon should look a whole lot better also.
It absolutely. Yeah. They are doing Scarlet and Violet updates. I think they were included in the list of free updates. But yeah, that's one of those where it's like, yeah, I would hope so, because those games run like trash. Yeah, so real quick, let's jump into this pricing stuff. Again, this isn't stuff that came out of the Nintendo Direct. It wasn't until people started digging around on Nintendo's website and saw that Mario Kart was going to cost $80. Now, it's a $50 premium when you get it packed in, but it's $80 standalone. And then you're looking at some of these other games and okay, Donkey Kong 70, which is why I'm like, okay, why is that like a quote unquote discounted game, even though it's $10 more than, what Nintendo was previously making you pay. And also, now in line with what we are considering the current gen kind of premium. And there are a couple of other games $80, and it's like, so we're just jumping there, huh? And in so many ways, it's like, okay,
and remakes. They're like not remakes. I'm sorry, the remasters. Like
the enhanced editions. Yeah. The Zelda games are now $80 games. I think the Kirby one may even be Kirby.
Yeah, I think that's $80.
Lands Switch 2. So it's like, whoa, what are we doing here? Because like the 450, I know for the longest time, I think we were hoping that $399 was going to kind of be the price point for this. But 450 came out, and I wasn't like shocked and like dismissive of it. It was like, okay,
I wasn't either.
I can still be excited for this. It's coming out soon. It's $450. Like, okay, I can deal with that. But once these prices started coming out, now there was also the aspect of we started seeing like European pricing too. And there's actually like a discrepancy in their pricing where physical copies are $10 more. So we were starting to see like 90 euros, but we were seeing it in pounds for the physical copy. Now, that's not the case in America, or at least not right now. It is just $80. And I say just, but, quote unquote. So it's not that, but it's still $80 for these games, and they don't drop in price.
And I think Japan is cheaper.
Yes.
Some of the games.
I'm not sure about, I haven't really seen gaming price in Japan. But as far as the console goes, they are selling a Japanese, like almost region locked, basically. It only has Japanese on the system as opposed to like the US ones where you can change the languages of them and play region free games. Basically for the equivalent of $330. So you could see a world where Nintendo. So
move to Japan, people, and learn Japanese.
And learn Japanese and then stay there, because if you like take it through customs, then they might charge you a tariff.
Stay there. So
you could see a world where this console might have been $350. But we're like, okay, we're thinking, okay, we're in this world where they're projecting, $450 because tariffs are allegedly coming for countries where they are now producing the Nintendo Switch, right? Or Switch 2, right? The unfortunate thing is, apparently either they did not factor those things in or they did not factor it in enough, because initially they had announced that pre-orders would open on April 9th, a week from when they showed this direct off. But now they've officially come out and they said, due to the announcement of the tariffs the next day from Donald Trump, that they are going to delay pre-orders so that they can reevaluate. They still expect the system to release on June 5th, but what that means for the price is very concerning to me, because the two places where they moved production out of China to avoid potential issues, they moved them to two of the highest tariffed places now. And I think that's Taiwan and Cambodia. So they did not avoid anything by doing the work to try and get these produced elsewhere. Now, feelings about tariffs aside, back to the pricing of the video games, there's a couple of reasons why I take exception to these prices. One, we just saw the raise to $70, and I feel like that still hasn't even been totally embraced by all of the publishers. So it feels like this is an even bigger jump, right? So we are going with Nintendo games from $60 to $80, or in the case of, they tried it with Tears of the Kingdom, $70 to $80. We're also talking about games that are on hardware that is older than the current gen of the home consoles. So we are expecting a lower tier product as far as like visual fidelity and whatnot. So it feels like there should be some level of discount there. So it's kind of wild that we're now talking about spending $10 more than what we're already paying for these current gen consoles premium games. And then there's obviously the economics of it all. But I've seen one argument in regards to this price that I've actually okay, I could see that, right? And this argument is that for Nintendo's kind of general audience, not the hardcore gamers, but their more casual audience, they're selling to families. And in some cases that may be, a family of 3, a family of 4, what have you. That is, if we're talking about like going to the movies, we're not talking about that big a difference between a night at the movies, a couple hours and some food for this family being almost $80, and a video game that you're probably going to get a lot more time out of. And now this argument has come from Jeff Grubb at Giant Bomb, and he's not saying, that justifies the cost. He's just saying like he can see where this is coming from. So in my head, I get that. The other argument that I've talked to you about is, if publishers have been talking for a while about increasing the pricing, even more than $70, what better time to do that than at a console launch? And here we are at a console launch. Nintendo is, the 50-pound gorilla in the room. If someone's going to sell you games for their system, it's going to be Nintendo, right? So there's that aspect of it. There's obviously the, rumors or not even rumors, the speculation from quote unquote analysts that Grand Theft Auto is going to be this $100 game, which I've always argued is just them giving them permission to, or kind of seeding the ground to allow for Rockstar to attempt to do that. And now this is obviously just justifying that even more. Now, you're also talking about like when we talk about like a $10 increase over the current generation premium games of $70. I think there's also that level of like Switch tax. We've talked about that for a very long time, where it's like Nintendo is trying to sell you on the idea that they're giving you 2 copies of a game, basically, right? They're giving you a home version and they're giving you a portable version, even though that is not in fact true. They're just giving us, the one that runs on the Switch. Because for the longest time, we've been paying similarly priced games for something that is a down-resed version of said game. Yeah, but when it comes down to brass tacks, $80 for a singular video game that has a very low likelihood of ever lowering in price, because I'm still having to pay $60 for ARMS or 1-2 Switch, and maybe those games have gotten down to like $30 at a point, is just... it's too hard to cope with when everything else is going up in price. So what do you think, Dominic?
Yeah. That's a lot, Daniel. A lot of excuses. All right. So, I was joking with you, Dan. I mean, I understand what you're saying. And you know what? I just say, they should raise the price higher than just sell it $100. You know what? I really want them to, because then it could just make me really
check out of it completely. Yeah. It's like, just make it like how you do Ferraris and Porsches and like those Lamborghinis and stuff. Like, it's like, they're gonna start not putting prices on video games, and it's like, if you have to ask about the price of this, then you're too poor to buy it.
Yeah, and I mean, at this point, that's where it is at. It's that it's just right now, this is too expensive. And should they bring the price down? I want them to. Should they? I don't fucking know. I mean, if they can get away with making money, some of these things and still making a profit and doing well, then go right ahead. I mean, I'll just check out. I mean, I'm not going to bitch about it much, anymore. I'm just going to be like, well, I'll just have to miss out.
Look at all these wonderful indie games still on the PC, I guess.
Because it's like, I don't want to pay $80. I mean, for $80 on these games, man. And like, you don't come down in price. You don't devalue. Yeah. Like, these games don't like the value because they've been out so long. You keep them at the premium. And it's like, come on, man. It's old now. Like, you're not going to get as much profit anymore now, man. You might as well just sell it cheaper. You actually can probably get some more
kickstart
sales.
The sales. That's what we would always see, is whenever something hit the greatest hits label or the player's choice label, sales of those games would bump up. And I think this would be the perfect opportunity for them to announce this as part of like the, I don't know, quote unquote, make good, I guess, is, hey, we are bringing back the player's choice branding. So if these games sell well, then, they will get down to that price. That would at least be something. But it's like you said, if they can get away with it, and I think they most likely will, they're not going to change course. You see all these comments on like the YouTube, the Treehouse Directs and stuff. It's like news talking about like, oh man, all they're doing in the chat is spamming drop the price. And it's like, yeah, but they're not going to do that before this thing launches. They've been through this before. They went through this with the 3DS. Now that was the console and not the games. And now we're in a situation where it seems like people are mostly fine with the system cost right now. Pre-tariff adjustment, whatever that ends up being, if it ends up being. But these are the games. But we've seen that. They will launch it at this price. They will then see how well these games sell. And if they don't sell, then they'll drop the prices. There's basically no harm, no foul to them, right? Like, this isn't going to tarnish their reputation. They're still Nintendo, so they can do that. They can screw us over, and then they can go, oops, sorry. And then, maybe they'll give us the Welcome Center game for free, like it should have always been packed in. And then they'll be like, oh, here's our make good. And then from then on, sell the games at $70, because I don't see them necessarily going down any further than that. Yeah, so this is a very hard pill to swallow, because at $80 for me, that's the tipping point. Like I am going to very, very hard. I'm going to take a very hard look at every single game that comes out to determine whether it's going to be worth it to me to invest in that. I am going to be very intrigued, not necessarily personally, but also maybe to see how strong the piracy community comes out on this system. I'm sure after the hardware vulnerabilities of the Switch 1, they worked with NVIDIA to spend a lot of time to make sure that doesn't happen again. But these prices are the kind of things that motivate internet weirdos to do amazing things, right? and create a way for people to play these in a more available way, I guess. It's just so disappointing. It's not surprising that it's Nintendo that does this, because they've always, as lovable on the outside of an exterior as they are, they've always been like ruthless business people that have never been like for the consumer necessarily. I mean, just look at the Pokemon franchise. I think that speaks volumes about what they're willing to let you pay for.
But not only like not for the consumer, but also just afraid too.
Yeah.
Because using those SD like cards, like how much, what's the cost of that? That putting games up there, like is it cheap? Is it cheap for that? Compared to having I know you can't have a CD in that type of system.
PSP did it. It was fine.
I'm just saying, just in case if they were just going, let's just say there was a CD player in the deck or whatever, like that actual thing. I don't know. I mean, them choosing this being proprietary,
yeah.
They're afraid of piracy and stuff, even though people pirate it anyway, because you got things digital.
But that's the thing, though, right? Is what factor do these cartridges even have into the pricing, right? Because I don't know. I want to say the majority of sales on the Switch have been digital. And obviously we're not seeing in Europe, we're seeing kind of a quote unquote discount for the digital over the physical. But with that not being the case in America, I don't know that how much that's factoring in anything.
I don't know. Yeah, just based on the amount of people who say they get physical cards. I mean, it's got to be something because that's still a cost to shipping it. Yeah, to stores and shit. But I don't know. But I'm just saying that it's just. I mean, I wonder if there was I guess there is. The only easier way was to just go all digital.
Yeah.
And I know the consoles, they don't want, I know Xbox and PlayStation probably want to.
Yeah.
But they just they don't want to potentially lose. So they're slowly doing it.
And I think Nintendo's probably of the same mindset, except they see an even larger market that they might miss out on if they don't have bright and colorful covers in the video game aisle, you know, for some kid to go, hey, mom, dad, granddad, grandmom, whatever, I want this, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's so weird that you can't. Yeah, I don't know how that would work. Yeah,
Unless
that's
it's
something.
like, here's a digital, you know, here's a digital gift card with the cover on it, you know, or some kind
But
of
then it's
like,
like, then we still have to spend money for this
yeah,
when like to the shit when we can
to ship
just
the stuff.
if
Yeah.
people yeah if people can just go online and
I
just get
mean,
it.
do we
But
get to a point, Dominic, where just like a portion of retail stores is just advertisements for something that we get somewhere else?
I think we yeah I think at some point it's going to be
Like, could
that.
I walk into a Walmart and buy a Nintendo Switch 2, but I can't buy a single game there? But there's just Mario and Pokemon plastered all over the store, you know? And I mean, I guess to a point, that's already kind of the case, right? You walk down the cereal aisle and you
For,
got
for
Mario cereal and Pokemon cereal.
yeah yeah probably
Yeah, the
is.
Target
I mean
TVs
PC because
playing on
PC's
loop.
more hardcore.
Yeah,
PC's more hardcore, so they it gets away with that. But yeah, I think yeah we're yeah it is. It's just slower. I know some people just say like no physical's always going to be around, and I'm like
I don't think that's true.
I mean it's not coming viable. It's not coming viable to do that. I think at some point they're going to cut their loss. They're going to say like, look, the potential we lose because that's the thing with raising the price is that okay we'll raise the price and whatever we lose for people not getting physical it'll be made up because people who buy digital are going
Right.
to pay this exorbitant price.
The premium, yeah.
That'll cover it.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I think the only way physical will continue to exist is in niche ways like these limited run titles, which you're already seeing with the Switch. Like, there are a lot of titles on the Switch that are exclusively digital, except for their limited run collector's editions that you pay a premium for because you want a thing on your shelf. So I think it's obvious that we get there, you know, and I think it's a sooner rather than later thing. Honestly, with the PS6 and the Xbox, maybe whatever, if they have a console that comes next, the Xbox PC edition, I can't help but wonder if they even come with drives. You know, I
Yeah.
don't know that they're going to find it worth it at that point if we're still like 2 years away from them launching, and
Yeah. So
especially
like
if like tariffs continue, you know.
so yeah. Um so yeah, like that's the only thing. It's like this is gotta price me out. Like if I was in a better space, yeah, I'll probably just like I'll get it. And I mean I would be like, oh this stuff is they're making this stuff really expensive. I get it, but it's like but I'll be more like, man, my library's gonna be very limited. Because I'm just gonna pick these certain games and play the shit out of them, you know, until
Yeah,
before I get another one. Um, but yeah, it's just too expensive. It's like I just feel like if I'm gonna go that route, man, I'm gonna invest in one of those handheld PCs or something and just play around with that shit. Then even though I'll miss out on exclusive Nintendo games,
yeah,
but I'll just miss out on them. That's fine. I missed out, but they get I missed out on a lot of Switch games.
yeah.
There's a lot of Switch games I didn't play.
Same. That's what I was
Um,
telling you. Is like, you know, there are already plenty of Switch games that I was interested in, but because the prices never dropped, I never bought them. I mean, that's why my backlog became so big for like GameCube or PlayStation or even like Xbox 360, because eventually those games, I mean, even Steam, those games get to a price where it's like, oh, eventually I'll play this for $5.99. For even anything like less than $19.99, it would be like, oh, eventually I'll play this. Let me grab this now while it's on sale. And even if it's on sale, you know, half the price of that in a year from now, and I haven't played it yet. I'm not going to be mad about it because I still didn't spend like that much on it. But now $80, I need to play that game to completion.
and in my mind, so like if I feel like I didn't get that game when it first came out, I'm sorry. It's just that
there's a good chance I just might not get it.
Going down price. Yeah, and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna pay $60 on this game. This game is old, even though I know it's not gonna go down in price.
Right.
I was like, well, I missed it. Yeah. I missed the window.
Exactly. Because it's like I'm not going to be part of the conversation. Like I'm not playing it on day one. And now, 2 years later, I'd still have to pay the same price. Like I'm not getting the same level of engagement out of it.
Yeah. Even though technically it shouldn't matter, but
technically it's still
does.
The same game, but yeah.
Psychologically it does.
Psychologically it does. Like, and there's other games out now that are also $60 that maybe I want to play more.
Yeah, exactly.
I just cannot believe that we are in this space where they're like so unwilling to put these games on sale. Like it does not make any sense to me.
And they lose nothing. They won't lose any money, though. That's the thing. Especially digital. If you get digital games digital, it's like you're not going to lose any money. Like you got the money. The money is already really there. You actually want to get a little bit. It's just be a little bit more money you get because it went down in price.
It took you 10 seconds to Photoshop the Player's Choice logo over the top of this digital game. Like it's just so infuriating. And like, I'm sure, if we had comments, we would have people being like, well, I just saw Super Mario RPG for $19.99 at GameSpot. And it's like, yeah, you did. But as we talked about, physical games are going to go away. And that shouldn't be the reason that physical games stay around. These companies should just be willing to lower prices on
then
stuff.
I have to go to the back of the aisle. Like I have to go to the store to look for like, oh, they got something on clearance.
Yeah. We need to wait till the store bought too much of something and hope that they'll lower it in price. And instead of just you being willing to sell a couple 100,000 more copies or whatever if you drop it half the price after 6 years. Like, what are we doing here? I do not get it.
Like, launch games should not. Yeah, it's just so weird. It's like, dude, like the window of sales is done. Like, you actually can get probably more profit if you put a big sales in. Like, oh, get Zelda Breath of the Wild for $20, and it's like, oh shit,
yeah.
You probably get a whole lot of you buying it. It's like, then it's still being $60.
And you could still sell your enhanced version for $40 with a $20 add-on or whatever.
Yeah.
Because now it works with the phone app. Yeah, that was the most crushing thing. Like, I was so excited to like finally have Nintendo news. And then to see the games, I was excited, and to see the system and all the stuff confirmed.
Without the price, it was a good show.
It was
like, I mean,
yep,
yeah. Like if you didn't know the price, I mean, because you didn't. Watching the show was fine. It was like, yeah. I say, okay, this is really good. I mean, only thing I was pissed off because I called and said, oh man, they didn't say the price.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Overall, just the content was good.
Yeah. And again, like we saw the press release, we saw how much the system was going to be, and it was like, okay, I can.
And it still was good. Yeah,
I can accept that.
450. Like I wasn't. When you said 450, I mean, yeah, I wasn't like, I knew it was expensive. I was like, oh, darn, it's expensive. But I also knew that some of the games didn't go down price, so that's why I was like, it'd be something I get down later.
Yeah,
like I mean, I'll get it when it's like more games out for it or something. Down now, but now that I see like, oh man, games are gonna be very expensive now. Maybe it won't be no later. Maybe it'll just be just a never, and I just have to move on.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. All depends. I mean, if anything, if I win this lottery, if these $5 tickets now happening in Maryland, that gives me a better chance of winning. I'll go ahead and get it.
There you go. And buy me one too. Yeah, I just that was so deflating.
Dollars.
And then the news that they had delayed the pre-orders, because even then with the games, I was like, but there was enough that like having the Link's Awakening free update, like I want to be able to play that game without all the slowdown. And if this platform gives me that along with Mario Kart, which I will get $80 worth of value out of Mario Kart World. My daughter loves Mario Kart right now. Like that's not a problem for me. And I'll get $50 out of it, right? Because I would be aiming for the bundle.
Get that one. Yeah. You might as well get that bundle.
Absolutely. So that's not an issue, and like the Zelda things are free, so it would really be whatever the new games are having to contend with that. And it's like looking at Metroid Prime.
You know, it's part of
it's
part of the Nintendo Online.
Yes. So there's that. But yeah, when we talk about like the new games, like Donkey Kong, even as cool as that looks to me, I would definitely have to seriously consider, is this a game that I'm willing to spend $70 on? Metroid Prime, I feel in my heart that a Metroid game I am going to be willing to part with large sums of money if it is, you know, it is good. But I don't even know if we've seen a price on that game, which makes sense because we don't even have a release date on it. But I would.
What about Super Mario Party Jamboree?
I don't give a crap about that game anyway, so that, I don't have to worry about that being 70, 80, whatever. Same with something like Drag Cross or Drag Cross Drive or Drag X Drive or whatever it's called. Oh
yes, the disabled game.
The gameplay looks kind of neat, but everything about it looks so bland. Like, it's just like
it looked like it's free to play games that have stuff.
It's like just black and gray. Like you put a coat of Splatoon paint over this thing, and it would be far more interesting. This is a game you
gotta pay for. Oh, we didn't talk about that. Unless I missed it.
What's that?
Oh, about that game costing money, the tech demo.
Yeah, briefly we talked about that. But yeah, what I said about that basically was, if it's like $1 or $2, why are you even charging anybody? If it's less than $5, why are you even being petty and charging anybody? Yeah. And if it's more than $10, you're insane. And if it's somewhere in between $5 and $10, I would argue you're probably still insane. These are games that are intended to be free. Unless there is something,
it's like that's something you just take the loss on, because it's not gonna be a loss.
It's not crazy. Gonna be a loss. Like, you shouldn't even made that thing if you were gonna charge people for this. Like, it's wild.
You didn't make one for a week for the Switch. We just learned it.
Yeah. No, and I don't have any problem with them making this thing, but like, come on, man. This is like a poor man's version of Astro's Playbot or Playroom. And that game was free with the system. Wii Sports was free with the system. Nintendo Land. Oh. What was Nintendo Land? Because that wasn't free, was it?
So, but also the Wii U also stunk. So, I mean, it ain't so.
Nintendo Land. Well, this isn't going to help me. Can I assume that it was a full price game at launch? Am I going to be able to find that anywhere? Let's see. Sales by March.
But was that a bundle? It was also a bundle, though, right?
Yeah, there was a bundle. I think if you bought the bigger hard drive one or whatever, the bigger SD card one. Yeah, you got
that game. Yeah.
That game came with it. But yeah, like, and even that game, which seems like it maybe features more gameplay than this thing does, people were like, "Why are we getting charged for this?"
Yeah, because people didn't realize, like me, I didn't know what you was getting. It was a charged game.
Yeah,
the guy was saying like, "Oh, look, it's like an Astrobot game. That's pretty cool." And then he said, "They charging for this?"
Yeah,
charging?
like Valve makes similar experiences for their headsets or their headset or their also the Steam Deck has something similar, and it's like, just eat that cost. Like, what are we doing here? And maybe this is the only thing that I could see them by the time the system launches, them actually like taking a step back on. I could see this launching with the Switch for free, especially if we get to a point where the Switch 2 is like, oh, here's the tariff price, and now it's, significantly more. I could see them being like, oh, well, we're going to give you this game at least. Sorry about your country or whatever. Yeah. So that's extremely disappointing. Now that we've talked about all of that, Dominic, third-party games, they had a pretty solid, showing from third parties. They had Elden Ring, which is what many people have speculated for a very long time. They're getting the tarnished edition, and it seems like that game runs fine.
It's tarnished because it can't run as well as on the PC.
I've always heard that game runs fine on the Steam Deck. This is theoretically about as powerful or a little more powerful than a Steam Deck, so I think this will be fine.
Okay. I think it'll be fine.
Yeah. Hades 2, they announced that game will launch on Switch 2 when it does launch. They didn't give a date for 1.0 or anything like that, or indicate that the beta version would come to the Switch 2. But when that game does launch, it'll be there. Madden, the 2K games, they're getting the sports games again. We'll see how long that lasts.
So Madden, that wasn't on the Switch, right?
No.
Yeah. So this is the first, So Madden being on the Switch is the first time.
Yeah. Of course, the 2K games have been coming out, but they've been pretty lackluster. So we'll see how that improves here.
It didn't stop them, though.
No, it didn't. Still got to sell those card packs, Dominic. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, that is coming. A lot of speculation around that for a long time. No date for that, surprisingly, though.
Fucking still not on Xbox.
Coming to that before the Xbox. There's still time, Dominic. There's no date, so, maybe. Street Fighter 6, they're also coming out with some Street Fighter 6 amiibo to go along with that. Split Fiction, Hogwarts Legacy is getting a new version of that. I didn't see one way or the other.
Mortal Kombat need to be, are they going to have like an upgrade so it can actually look good and run good?
You would hope so.
On the system?
You would hope so. But like with Hogwarts Legacy, I didn't see whether they're going to be selling an upgrade for that or not. I would hope so. If people willingly spent their money on that game on the Switch, they should reward them by at least letting them upgrade to a better version for like $10. Bravely Default is getting a remaster. Bravely Default Fly Fairy HD.
Fly Fairy.
Is that the one that you played and then it was like, oh, there's a whole half of this game left to play?
Yeah.
Okay.
Was there a whole half? It might have been. I know it was like,
or there's like a lot more past what you thought was going to be the end of the game.
But it was between that game and the Ni no Kuni.
Okay.
Because that game I played a lot, and then it was like, oh, you still got to do all this? Like, oh, this is where the game really begins. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, I put so many hours in this shit. It's like, this ain't over. And I was like, man, I said, the hell with this? And I'm cheating.
Right.
And I was like, darn, man, I'm freaking going through battles like crazy. It's like, darn, how long it take for other people to get to this point?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yakuza 0 Director's Cut, Deltarune Chapters 1 through 4.
Oh, they're getting Yakuza, yep.
Yeah.
That's cool.
They should be getting one of the newer Yakuza games, though, in addition.
Yeah, that's shoot. Yeah, they're getting 0 Director's Cut. Man, that's just to make you buy it again, because it's like, oh, look, there's some extra content.
Now you can use a
There's
mouse.
some other perverts that you got to protect these little girls from, little schoolgirls from, or something.
Exactly. Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition. We mentioned that earlier. I do think it's funny that it's called Ultimate Edition, though, since it will definitely not be the ultimate way to play this game. Civ 7.
That's what Cyberpunk is called?
Yeah, Cyberpunk. Because it comes with the Phantom Liberty stuff.
Okay. Yeah. Phantom Liberty.
And it wasn't anybody's game of the year. Civ 7 is coming with mouse support, and Switch 1 owners of that game will be able to buy an upgrade to that. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4.
I'm sorry, man. They should give that for
Yes, they should.
That's like, yo, I paid for this crappy ass edition. You can at least what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Tony Hawk, they briefly showed off a SpongeBob level, so it sounds like you got something going on there. Borderlands.
Is that SpongeBob level just exclusive to Switch?
I doubt it. I'm sure that's going to be in the game. They just thought that was an appropriate place.
I bet to be. Yeah.
I heard Pro Skater 1 and 2 remastered for the Switch 1 was actually a pretty alright version of that game, though. So this could be
when's the Xbox Game Pass version of that coming on?
That's a good question. Maybe when maybe like a week before 3 and 4 hits, they'll be like, here's 1 and 2 on Game Pass. That wouldn't surprise me.
That doesn't make any sense.
Borderlands 4, Randy Pitchford was there. He was excited. He's going to put his game out on the Switch too.
Oh, is there any upgrades to the other handheld ones?
It's probably not. I don't know. And then kind of the biggest surprise thing was the Duskbloods, which is a new FromSoft game. Much in the vein of Night Rain. That's the words. Night Rain. This is going to be a multiplayer, possibly almost like Extraction type game set in a very Elden Ring or Bloodborne-esque world. People, I was watching people react to these streams, and a lot of people were like, "Oh my god, are they putting out Bloodborne 2 exclusively on the Switch 2? That would be probably one of the most hilarious things they could possibly do." But this is the next Miyazaki game, so this is mainline FromSoft game. So we will see how this turns out.
Oh yeah. You talk about Kirby Air Raiders?
Yeah, just briefly.
I say Air Raiders, Air Riders.
Air Riders.
And that the original guys working on it.
Yep. Yeah, basically, he put in his time in the Super Smash Brother mines, and now he's getting to do what he wants, I guess. Because I just don't see any other reason outside of him being really amped and going I'm not going to help out with the next Smash Brothers game if you don't let me make this game. Because, why else would you release that game in the same year that you're going to release a new Mario Kart?
Mario Kart. Yeah. What the fuck is that?
In what world is somebody all right, I want to play Kirby Air Riders over Mario Kart? Come on. The
first one was just called Air Rider.
It was just Air Ride. I think it was just Kirby Air Ride, and then this one's Air Riders. An extra RS there. So yeah. So that was basically the Nintendo news of the week, Dominic, and how things have changed since the initial announcements. Any final thoughts on the Nintendo Switch 2, Dominic?
Nah, man, this is where we at, people. We are at the point where where things that I am now we're missing out on stuff. Sucks.
We thought we would just be able to age out of video games, but instead video games have outcosted us. And that's really disappointing.
Yes, we're only for certain people here.
Yeah.
Now it's that now there is the console master race.
Yeah. All right, Dominic. With that, then we will move on to new releases. We got Croc, The Legend of the Gobos, out now on the PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One,
the
Xbox
remastered
Series.
version of the Original platformer
the
crop.
cult classic. We were talking about this yesterday, but with it removing the tank controls and updating them to proper controls, like I could see this game.
I didn't know they had
actually
tank controls for that game.
Perfectly fine.
That was probably an awful game then. Damn.
I bet it was. Yeah.
Why didn't they? Why would you even choose to do that? Super Mario 64 came out.
Yeah, but the PlayStation 1 didn't necessarily have a D-pad. Or not a D-pad, I'm sorry, an analog stick when this game launched.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So, they thought they were doing what was best for them. So, yeah. Yeah, I think Bubsy 3D was the same way. So, like, it comes from a similar vein where it's like, well, we're doing our best here, I guess. All right, and then I don't
remember Gex having tank controls though.
No, Gex 3D didn't have.
No, Gex Enter the Gecko.
Was that was the 3D one?
It was a PlayStation game.
Yeah.
Gex. I think Ape Escape, did that require you to have a
I don't know that it did. And honestly, like when you think about it, you can just do the analog stick thing on a D-pad. You don't have as much precision control because you can't take a step versus run, but you would just have to tune for that.
That's what I'm about to say. I think it's
just, developers at the time not as familiar and, maybe trying to utilize what other people had done and in a lot of ways maybe not working for them. So, all right, we got that. And then we got The Last of Us Part 2 Remaster. Dominic is now out on the PC just in time for people to play that ahead of Season 2 launching for The Last of Us on HBO.
Yeah.
I don't know that I got much to say about that.
Nah, ain't much. I already know the story.
Yep. So
somebody had a baby.
Wait, somebody had a baby? That's more than I knew. All right. So yeah, with that, we will wrap this up. We are on Twitter. Dominic is at DStarworth5. I'm at Regulus MB. The podcast is at Superpod. Superpod.com is the website. You can also find us on Blue Sky. We are at superpod.com, at regulusmb.sky.social, blah, 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 and Dino Man at DominicStallworth.bluesky.social. The website, it is superpod.com, and you can check us out there. It has all of our previous podcasts, as well as links to all the places you can find us, including YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast, as well as iTunes, YouTube Music, and Spotify, as well as Amazon and Audible, and any other places you can pull down a podcast. And until next time, guys, talk to you later.
All right, see you.